Hey guys, welcome to Green Bean Fiction. So in today's video we are gonna see, what if Deku had Shadow Monarch's power and fell for Astrid? Before starting, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe the channel if you are new so you won't miss our latest videos. This story is A Hero and a Viking by Prysmordia, 12:23 p.m. Heights Alliance Class 3A UA High School. Izuku Midoriya, he has been in conflict inside his mind for months now. He couldn't help but put himself down. He saw himself as a disappointment to All Might's power. One for all, he's mentally beating himself up for it, always putting himself down for not being enough. He said he couldn't keep it anymore. First, he couldn't confess to Ochako Uraraka, and she got into a relationship with Katsuki Bakugo, his now redeemed best friend. Although at first he couldn't handle it, but as time goes by he grows into it and saw them happy together, so in his mind he should be happy for the two of them. It hurts at first, but that's a speck of pain from the self-loathing he's giving himself. He couldn't do it. He's only at 50% of one for all, he couldn't control it well. Sometimes he becomes a liability to his friends, although they didn't comment much on it, but he's the one beating himself for it. He feels like he's not enough to carry a torch as bright as All Might's legacy. So, in this dark early morning, Izuku packed his bags and left a shot glass of blood for All Might. The notes were sorry for his classmates for being a bad hero and a big liability, while he left a note for All Might to read when he's gone from his school where he doesn't belong, by his words. Self-doubt is a deadly disease. Note for All Might Sensei. Dear All Might, the man who saw worth in me. The man who I saw as a father I never had. I hope this letter finds itself in your hands. I am leaving UA. I don't see much worth in myself, unlike the way you see in me. I feel I'm being a liability to my classmates for not being good enough to be with them. Maybe they're just shy to tell it to me, but to me, that's what I saw myself as, someone who's unreliable to do something. So All Might, I hope you can forgive me for running away. I'm weak-willed. I'm scared that I'd be worthless before I could have the chance to show myself. All the villain attacks, all the fights with villains. It made me realize how worthless I am. I left a shot glass of my blood. Please consume some of it. I will transfer one for all back to you. Please drink my blood within 2 days. Your successor. TIMESKIP Toshinori Yagi, also known as All Might, has read through the letter. Grasping his heart from the words spoken in his message, he couldn't help but cry for his successor. He's a man of hope and peace. He was wondering why his own successor couldn't see hope in himself. He didn't know of the boy's mental instability, since he always saw Izuku Midoriya as the type of person to always smile no matter the cost. That's why choose the boy as his successor, but he couldn't put his mind at the fact that the boy wanted to give up. Young Midoriya. Why do you out yourself down like this? Why can't you see the potential in yourself? You are the greatest young man, too perfect to be my successor, so why would you give up like this? Toshinori Yagi, as strong as he was in his prime, couldn't help but let his knee is the ground. Why young Midoriya? I am proud of you, the accomplishment you did, so why would you give up? With his frail fist, he punched the hard concrete, not caring that his hand started to bleed. Why? Why? Why would you give up on yourself, young Midoriya? He's sobbing. The man known as the strongest cried for losing his successor and son figure. I didn't know. I'm sorry, young Midoriya. I'm sorry. I didn't realize how unstable you have become. How you wanted to die. Please drink my blood within 2 days. All Might realized that sentence a few minutes ago. He knew what Midoriya is planning to do. Ever since his mother died while he was a second year in UA, Midoriya has become someone even All Might couldn't read. Sure, Izuku was smiling on the outside, and All Might was happy that Izuku didn't beat himself up for losing his mother. But All Might isn't omniscient. He doesn't have an idea of how broken Izuku was inside, hidden by his mask. I'm sorry. I really don't have any idea of your mental health, young Midoriya. If I had known, I would have sent you to Hound Dog regularly so you could be better. I'm really sorry. All Might grasped the cold hard concrete floor, pain evident on his expression. I'm sorry, Inko-san. I couldn't help, young Midoriya. Anym. No, it's not too late yet. I have to find my boy. A profound determination lit up in All Might's eyes. I have to find young Midoriya and reassure him that he's my successor and nothing can change that. All Might stood back up, with the embers of determination inside him grew into an inferno of longing for his successor. He picked up his phone and dialed a number. Hello, Sukachi. Yes, it's me, All Might. I need some help. As the other side spoke, All Might wait and speak about his problem to his trusted police friend. I need help with finding Izuku Midoriya. He suddenly left UA out of nowhere. Please find him before the 2 days mark. This is urgent. That boy is mentally unstable, he needs help as soon as possible. All Might slumped his back on the doorframe, resting himself from all this stress. Thank you. You don't know how thankful I am, Sukachi, thank you. He dropped the call and breath heavily from this tension he's feeling deep within himself. All Might is shaking from imagining what if the boy really did it, what if Midoriya really did go with his plans of ending his own life. Please be safe, young Midoriya. As he looked at the table, where a little glass cup rested, it's filled with Izuku's blood. Hopefully I don't need to drink that. Please come home, young Midoriya. Scene change: Isle of Burke, a world far different than where Izuku is. This world is far too back in time than Izuku's timeline. It's the era of Vikings and dragons. At the Hofferson hut, Astrid Hofferson, she's a young woman in her early 20s years of life, blonde hair, ocean blue eye, as beautiful as the seas that surrounds Burke. She's also a dragon rider, with a dragon partner named Stormfly. Although Astrid looks tough outside, she's really a soft and kind-hearted person for a couple of people, particularly her boyfriend and partner Hiccup the Dragon Master, partner of the infamous Night Fury Toothless. She's in a relationship with him for years now, both were loyal with each other, supporting them when times get tough. She's Hiccup's sword and axe, while he's the brains of their relationship. These two are inseparable. But what can love do against fate? One day, she and Stormfly were flying around some islands near New Burke, since there's been a spotting of dragon hunters, as the report last stated. She had gone to these islands without the notice of Hiccup. They both landed, both were vigilant of the surrounding and ready to retaliate if anything goes south. She has her axe ready in case of an attack. Scouts states that some dragon hunters were located in some cave in an unnamed, so she decided to go far a cave. A long walk. A long vigilant walk until they both found a cave. The dragon growled at the sight of the cave, as he the dragon recognized something she didn't. Hush, calm down girl, we might get caught. Shish, she hushed her dragon companion. She then got the courage to approach the entrance of the cave. Meanwhile she looks back. Come on girl, follow me. She gestured for her dragon to follow her, but much to her surprise her dragon didn't follow. What's happening with Stormfly? Why is she afraid of this cave? She was confused at first, but she didn't mind and continued with slowly crouching towards the cave's entrance. Damn, there's no light. Wait, good thing I borrowed Hiccup's sword. Since there's no light, she knew no people are in there, but she needs some proof that dragon hunters really did have gone here. So lighting the flaming sword, and illuminated the cave's entrance and a good part of it. Are those pillars? She approached the pillars, and illuminated them using the flaming sword. What are these symbols? She tried wording it, but she's not familiar with these symbols. It's not Norse, not Dragonese either, the language Hiccup used with communicating with other dragons. So what's this? Stone tablets and pillars with some runes. Her fingers touched the stone pillars, dusting off some thick dust covering it. It's a mess. Who would even create these, and what for? She asked to no one while tracing the symbols with her finger. Then it happened. The pillars glowed yellow. What's happening? She exclaimed in surprise, and took her fingers off the pillars. It's glowing. She wanted to run, and she did. She run fast, but an invisible wall stopped her from exiting the vicinity of the 4 pillars. She's stuck in between them. What's happening? I'm stuck in here. What's this almost invisible yellow wall? She tried punching it, using her axe, but the thing wouldn't budge. It won't bud my fingers. Looking at her fingers, her gaze focused on her fingers slowly turning into nothing but particles. What's this? No. What kind of witchcraft is this? I need to get out of her. Stormfly, help. She shouts for her dragon, but no avail. Her behind hits the cold ground, as she saw it. My legs. Dread filled her very soul, looking at her crumbling legs turning into yellow particles. I can't do anything. But wait for me to turn into nothing. She gritted her teeth. She crawled into the invisible wall, trying her best to claw her way out. It's no use. I'm gonna die in here. She rested, sitting there while tears began to drip from her eyes. She looked so devastated at the realization. I'm really gonna die. Limb by limb her body slowly turns into particles. I'm sorry Mom, Dad. Hiccup. As the last tears fell from her eyes and her entire body becomes particles, leaving her clothes behind, and the sword Hiccup lent to her. A brighter glow illuminated on the floor, it's yellow with a huge rune symbol. The particles that was once Astrid began to swirl into a whirlpool of energy particles as the pillars shimmered with ethereal light. As the yellow particles collapse on itself, and the pillars lost their light. What's more confusing is the pillars began to crumble down. It all subsides, as minutes later Stormfly went inside and saw no one. There's no Astrid, no one was left in there. Her dragon looks at the clothes Astrid wore and the sword Hiccup lent to her. The dragon with a solemn look on its face took the sword and Astrid's clothes in its mouth. Stormfly flew back home to Burke, and went straight to Hiccup. "She's gone, Dragon Master." Stormfly spoke in Dragonese to Hiccup, while Stormfly dropped the clothes Astrid wore and the sword. What do you mean she's gone, Stormfly? Did some dragon hunters found her or what?" Hiccup asked, also speaking in Dragonese. "I mean she's gone. Dead. It happened suddenly when we were at that island. She insisted on going inside that cave." Stormfly explained. "Then what happened? What happened to her after that?" Hiccup shouted, at the poor dragon whom also lost her rider. "I didn't go inside with her. I felt something inside there. She didn't recognize my signals to her to not go in, and after a few minutes, that weird energy was gone and I went there, only to find some broken pillars and her clothes and your sword. That's all what's left when I got there." The dragon sobbed. Hiccup knew when dragons are in pain, and this moment is one of it. He scratched Stormfly's lower neck, calming the poor dragon down. "Astrid." Hiccup looks at the sky. Tears were freely flowing down her eyes. His heartstrings were tearing themselves apart as sadness of losing someone he loves was unbearable. His legs gave out, as he sobbed on the dragon. Why her?" he pleaded. How will Hiccup move from her death? How will he cope with losing Astrid? Well, that's not our story. But know this, someone will appear in his life that will thaw his frozen heart. Read Omphalos, Hiccup x Elsa. Scene change back to Izuku Midoriya. He's currently lost. He pushed his legs to go forward, to get away from Ua and heroes as far as possible. He has been using One for All for almost an hour now, using float to go island to island, making sure he's far from heroes. Until he finds an island where there's no people, no lights, no buildings, just nature basked in the moonlight of the night. He rested on a tree for a good hour for the aching muscles in his arms and fingers for using too much of float and One for All. Yes, he only has float and Black Whip unlocked. When it started to rain, Izuku found shelter on a cave. It was dark, but he brought flashlights and batteries, along with 2 weeks worth of food, then some survival tools like waterproof lighter and matches, and a crossbow, a gift from Yayorozu on his birthday last year. He then tread the cave with flashlight lighting the dark place. He saw 4 pillars and a circle in between them. Seeing nothing more comfy than pillars, he brought out his sleeping bag, a gift from Aizawa-sensei. He rested his bag on the corner of the cave and he prepared his sleeping bag for him to sleep later. I should eat before I sleep, I'll cook first. He prepared his handy foldable stainless fireplace. It was the size of A4 bond paper, but it works, I guess, so he took some woods that's littering around the cave and lit it up. I guess that's done, I shish. He was cut off by the pillars shimmering a yellow glow. What's that? Someone's quirk? He asked. As all 4 pillars suddenly lets out yellow particles that combined in the circle in between the pillars. He cold see it. Is that? No way, what kind of quirk is that? He was amazed at first, seeing a figure being formed by the yellow particles. It's forming into a person, it must be a warping quirk, he said, while the figure finally formed as the light explodes. Ah, my eyes. Izuku covered his eyes from the bright light. It took him a couple of minutes to regain his vision, and when he did, he looks at the circle-like altar and saw something. Is that a person? He crawled to it and saw. She's naked. No, not the time to think about that kind of things now. He covered his eyes, his so flustered that his face was blushing so hard. Izuku saw the pillars crumbling down. He didn't second guess and hugged the unconscious woman. No. As the pillars falls on them, Izuku instinctively used One for All as dust covered the place when it fell down. Is it fate or something more, something superficial that needed to happen as 2 paths crossed? One is an unconfident hero and the other is a proud Viking. Izuku protected the girl. He used several black whips to cover themselves in a protective cocoon made of green and pitch black whips. Breathing heavy, phew. That almost took us out. What even happened just now? Using the whips, he took the rocks away and putting them on the side while he carried the girl bridal style. Why is she naked? What happened to her? He rested the unconscious girl on his sleeping bag. This will do for now. Taking off his own jacket and putting it on her, looking away while doing it. There, she should be Alrig. The moment he puts his hand on her neck to check her body heat, he realized it. She's burning up. I need my towel and something cold. Right then and there he got an idea. He stood up and backed outside, with towel on hand. Izuku having the idea of soaking the towel with cold rainwater. After that he went back inside and opened the jacket, revealing her naked figure again. He's trying his best not to look while soaking her body in cold rain water through the towel. He does this for 5 minutes until he's sure that somehow her heat has gone down. Thank God she's alright. I swear she's too hot back there, he said while having his mini solar charged fan focused on her. She'll need the comfort more than me. Just sleep tight, maybe tomorrow your heat will go away. He summed it up to her having a cold, so he stayed there sacrificing his own comfort just for her to be okay. Izuku's a hero after all. His priority is the people that need saving first. I'll stay here beside you, Izuku said while looking at the cave's ceiling, a bunch of sharp rocks at the top, as he glanced at the sleeping visage of the woman. I still don't know what happened to you, but maybe tomorrow I'll have answers to my questions, he said before he too was welcomed by the warming embrace of sleep. Timeskip morning, island near the coast of Japan. Izuku woke up to someone shaking him, and opening his eyes he saw the girl alive and well. Then he glanced at where her hand was. She currently has him in a tight spot. She has Izuku's butterfly knife on Izuku's own neck. Who are you? Where is this place? She shouts, while Izuku calmed himself. He knows if he panicked he'd see God the next moment. He puts both his hands up as if surrendering. I'm Izuku Midoriya, and this is Japan. What happened to you? Why are you confused? And please put that knife away, he said while seeing that confused face she has. Then she asked the most confusing question ever for Izuku. What's Japan? She asked as Izuku's eyes widened in shock. Are you a lost foreigner or something? He questioned. What's a foreigner? Okay, that's it. It raised so many flags in Izuku's mind. He knows this lady right here isn't just fucking with him. Her confusion sounds so authentic. Oh, in the name of Thor. Where am I? The blade inches closer to Izuku's neck more. Wait, I have no idea. Just the fact that we're in Japan and that's all. I don't know why you're confused by some words. He profusely shakes his hands. He's not used to this kind of stuff. Growl. Growl. Izuku's eyes trailed at her belly, then even her she looks at her belly and Izuku chuckles. Ha 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 ha. Someone's hungry. Come on, get off me, I'll prepare food. She was hesitant on letting Izuku go, but he didn't ask her, he just stated what he wants to do. Then by using Black Whip he took her off by himself. What are those? It's coming out of your hands. She waves the knives around. Get away from me. What kind of witchcraft is that? Now it's Izuku's time to be confused. Witchcraft? Ha 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 ha. What are you, some ancient human girl who found herself in the future? No, this isn't witchcraft, it's my quirk. Well, quirks. She was still on guard, judging what Izuku's saying. Stop that, I don't bite. If I wanted to kill you, you would have already be dead. I saved you last night. You have a bad fever. Your body was heating up so much that you needed some cold comfort, so I let you keep my ice jacket and that sleeping bag with features of warm and cold depending which switch you pressed. Her mouth wide open, confused at what Izuku was saying. The what and cold what now? I'm lost. Letting the knife go, while Izuku approached her. You look lost though, I guess that's one. Where do you even live? Izuku asked, while scouting her movements of if she moves again to attack him. Burke, I live in Burke. She answered. Name? He asked. Astrid Hofferson. Izuku paused while soaking all the information. I see. Astrid, I don't know what your game is, but Burke doesn't exist, and you not having ideas about what a foreigner and quirks are, is suggesting that you lost your memories. Izuku stated while looking at her. No, you're wrong. I didn't lost my memories. I can clearly remember everything from when I got into a cave, then this pillars glowed and I turned into light, something like fireflies. Izuku pondered on her words, analyzing every single detail. By like fireflies you mean particles, cause that's how you appeared to me. She nodded. She doesn't have an idea what particles are, but she still nodded. Give me a moment. By taking a sit on the cold hard ground, Izuku cupped his chin, thinking about some possibilities about her predicament. So, whatever happened to you, I got an idea, you must transport it here or something, and that lost look you're giving is just too genuine to be fake. Believe I know when people are lying. I learned from the best at reading people like an open book. His gaze fixed on her rather delicate figure but eyes of a warrior who knew of nothing but battle. Just sit there, I'll prepare food, then we could discuss this over breakfast. Walking towards his cooking utensils, some of it are baking since Sato gave him this set on his 18th birthday. Oh, and keep that knife if you feel threatened. I'll preparing food for the both of us, he flatly said, while she eyed him. Astrid couldn't get her gaze off the mysterious person who saved her, and is now preparing breakfast for the two of them. After 30 minutes of waiting, Izuku took a foldable mini-table and puts it near Astrid. Come on, sit. The food is ready. Astrid slowly gets closer to him, and sat on the ground exactly face to face with Izuku, the mini-table between them. What is this small thing? It resembles tables in Burke. Amazing. Her hands caressed the table, somehow amazed by the design and the foldable gimmick it did. You really are not of this time, so. Astrid Hofferson, from what era are you? His eyes fixed on hers, as the two both locked eyes. An era of dragons, where a tribe of Vikings coexist with dragons in their day-to-day life, she informed while looking at the hot freshly cooked food that Izuku rested in the small table. Izuku meanwhile was reading her lips, gazing at her eyes, then her body language, trying to decipher if she's lying or not. I guess you aren't lying to me. Honestly, a time of dragons and Vikings sounds kind of fantasy if you ask me. But the genuine reaction you have and how your body acts, something's telling me you aren't lying, you're telling the truth. He said, you can read people's mind? She asked, mind boggled at the possibility. Not exactly. I can read people through their actions, their lips, their body language, and through their eyes. I know a liar when I see one, and Astrid, you aren't one I can see at all. I can see through you. You're lost, you have no one here, and you're missing someone. His eyes landed on hers. Those eyes reveal more than just someone lost. Your eyes reminded me of myself, self-doubt, lost, no one to cling on, and longing for someone. Izuku sighed. He's already feeling the darkness inside his soul eating away pieces of him little by little. How? She grabbed him by the collar, and dragged him closer to her own face. How do you know so much about me? Are you the one who brought me here? She yelled at him, breathing heavily as the stress of being sent here, and losing everyone there in Burke takes a toll on her. If you want someone to blame. Izuku took the knife, put it on her hand and made her clench it as he brought the knife close to his own neck, using her hands. If you want to, you can blame me. I had enough of it all. I'm tired of being useless and being the good-for-nothing successor of someone great. Astrid recoils back at what he said. She saw his eyes, they're so dead that even the abyss would be jealous at their lifeless, dark and empty state. Go on, finish it, end my misery. Izuku's cracked, he couldn't keep up the mask he puts on when talking to her. He's so done, he wanted all his pain to end. He has no reason to live. No mother to home to. No mother to cook him good and hot katsudon. No girlfriend to comfort him, to make him feel love and belong. No friends, not anymore. He bottled it up inside him, but he hated how Uraraka chose Bakugo over him, his former tormentor over him, the one person who loved her ever since the very beginning of their year at Ua. And no. She threw the knife away. He saw him for the person he truly is, a broken man with nothing left to live for. I won't do it. Her mind and body couldn't resist, seeing this man broke down in front of her. Her hands moved, her body leapt forward. She gave what Izuku needed all this time. Something that brings light in the abyss within his soul. They both fell to the ground. Izuku's eyes let out tears he had been holding back for so long. She hugged him, not a lover hugging her partner but someone who saw a person so broken, so by instinct she gave him what he needed. A hug, with comfort to tell him that he's still needed, that he's still important. Thank you, is all he could say, this warmth of comfort, he needed this. Night, in the unnamed island near the Japanese coast. Thanks to Astrid, Izuku somehow gained some light in his eyes to the point that he didn't need to put on his mask to hide how he feels. Again, thank you, for what you did back there. I really needed that, Izuku said solemnly, while looking at Astrid who was on the bonfire grilling a piece of boar thigh. It's nothing really, you saved me, I saved you, we're even. Astrid spoke, while Izuku made his way to the bonfire sitting near her. Nothing, huh? You have no idea how much I needed that. He chuckled lightly. To her surprise she saw him curl his lips into a smile. Yeah, you really needed that, huh? She was in trance seeing that little smile. She doesn't have a single idea how that depressed man even knows what a smile is. By the way, why are you here in this cave? I never asked you that. Makes me curious what your story is. As she asked his story, Izuku solemnly looks at the fire. I was a hero in training back in UA where the best of heroes are nurtured, but me. I was nothing, I couldn't even control the gift I was given. He paused, preparing for the right words. I'm useless. His face, his tone, the pain in those words while he said it. It reminded him someone she knew too well. Looking at Izuku, Astrid was reminded of young Hiccup, where he was outcast by his peers for being useless, for being the only Viking to not kill a dragon, for being a fishbone. You're not useless. In fact, I knew someone who thought the same, the way he worked hard to be himself, to not ride the tide but go through the currents. She walked and sat beside him. You just need to believe in yourself. Everyone has purpose, so ask yourself. Her pointer finger landed on Izuku's chest. Deep inside you, ask yourself what's your purpose. She said. Those words hit Izuku like a truck. I know my purpose. To save people, to be a light they could look up to. Hearing that, she smiled. You wanted to save people. That's great and all, but her hand rested on his chest. If you really wanted to save people. He looks up at her, locking eyes with the blonde girl who touched his very soul. Shouldn't you save yourself first? She patted his chest and stood up, leaving Izuku contemplating on Astrid's statement. Shouldn't you save yourself first? He doesn't know why, but those words resonate with him. The self-doubt, the lack of confidence, and self-wallowing he does, was slowly crumbling away. All he needed was a push, a great purpose. Come on, let's eat. A good Viking needs a filled stomach. We need the energy to hunt boars tomorrow. She urged him as Izuku walked next to her, taking a piece of meat from the huge bowl. Quote, shouldn't you save yourself first? It still echoes inside his head. Again, with that little embers of hope and joy inside him, the disease of darkness growing inside him was calmed down. He couldn't help but let his lips curl up into a genuine smile. There we go, now you look alive, come on, eat more. She urged him, then he took the sauce from one of the pouches in his bag. This tastes bland, maybe a good seasoning and sauce should do the trick. He brought out sauce packets and opened one. What's that? Astrid asked, confused what those shiny-looking packets are. It's sauce. Here, let me. He then puts a good portion on her boar thigh. Go try it. Astrid do as told and took a bite. The flavor, the aroma, it's amazing. I didn't know little packets like that give flavor to meat. Astrid was surprised at the sudden flavor that defiled her mouth. It was mouth-watering. It goes well with meat. This is amazing, honestly. She exclaimed while Izuku was looking at her. His eyes couldn't stop but admire her beauty. How happy she was to taste flavor like that. You really are from another world or time. He snickered, while he was jabbed by Astrid on the arm. Hey. They're all alone in this island. Their dynamic grows and their somewhat casual friendship blossoms. Scene change. Principal office, Uwa grounds, Japan. All Might sat on a chair, Aizawa on the other while they were discussing with Nezu. I know, All Might, I know. We need to find the problem child before that 2-day mark hits. We only have a day at most right now. Aizawa stated, looking more sleep-deprived than he already was. All Might couldn't help but slam his frail fist down the table. It's all my fault. I didn't see through young Midoriya's pain. He's broken, alone. And I didn't do a damn thing about it. How could I call myself his mentor? The symbol of peace reduced to a mentor longing for his successor's return. I promised his deceased mother that I would guide that young man into a great future, into a great hero. His hands were shaking. It's gonna be all right. We'll find him by sunrise tomorrow. If we don't, we failed as his teachers. Aizawa pats All Might's back. They both share the same burden of finding Izuku. Scene change. Coffee shop near Uwa. Aoyama Yuga was shaking. So you did it. Aoyama nodded at the masked figure, while Aoyama was shaking in fear. Why, yes. I got him the letter that contained the quirk. The person smiled through his mask. Good. With that quirk, Abyss mental code. It destroys the user. By self-loathe, lack of self-confidence, it's a double-edged sword. If he did recover then. No, that's not a possibility for us, even me couldn't beat him if he awakened that quirk. The person spoke, while Aoyama, fearing for his life, just nodded. Abyss mental coat. The original user became a husk of her former self. It destroys the user from the inside through their negative emotions. But this quirk is a double-edged sword. When awakened, this quirk lets the user have full control over darkness itself, as shown by the former user before she died from the unbearable power of her quirk awakening. She got to use the awakened quirk for only 5 minutes before its power turned her into a cold corpse. That's where All For One took her quirk and hid it in the depths of his mind. Provide me more information, Aoyama Yuga, or your parents' lives are, let's say, nulled. He threatened the poor shaking boy. I will, please don't hurt my mama and papa, Aoyama pleaded. The mysterious person nodded. I need some information about Izuku Midoriya's whereabouts. I still have to take from his cold corpse. As Aoyama nodded profusely, scene change. Unnamed island near Japanese coast, Izuku and Astrid's cave. For hours, the two bonded, talking about how their lives went. Both revealed information about themselves. Izuku learned that Astrid was a Viking, a dragon rider, and the girlfriend of the soon-to-be chief of Burke. He couldn't put his mind to it, but somehow within the depths of himself, hearing that Astrid was already taken, somehow made him feel something, not as bad as when Uraraka chose Bakugo over him, but it's still there, the same very emotion when that happened. Jealousy for a girl he met just a day in this cave, but that one day they bonded far stronger than when Uraraka and him became friends. Astrid learned of Izuku's past, how he was quirkless at first and was outcasted because of it, and got bullied, but the frail boy was given a chance by his hero, All Might. She got to know how Izuku suffered lack of confidence, on why he was beating himself up for his potential, for the fact that he never got chosen by the woman he liked, by how Izuku mentioned Uraraka, this bubbly girl that became his friend. She couldn't put her hands on it, but somehow she's a little conflicted. She loves Hiccup, but the fact that she may not go home, and how Izuku welcomed her and took care of her when she arrived. To her, Izuku could have just left her there to die, but he didn't. She knows inside her, she felt a bit of intense attraction for Izuku. It's not like how she feels for Hiccup, the love she has for Hiccup, but the attraction for Izuku, it's there, and by the passing days, it's growing. You really are something, Astrid. I wish I was half as good as you. Izuku sent an admiring look her way, and she jabbed his left side. Flattering me won't get you anywhere, hero, she playfully said, while Izuku grasped his side, feeling a bit of pain but not bad enough. He only groaned in pain, silently. Astrid knows it. She's starting to feel attracted to Izuku, and Izuku, ever the dense dumbass, doesn't see it. It's their bond. Their connection, both knew it's there and it's ever growing, and they have no way of stopping it. Timeskip 1 week after Izuku's disappearance, he was proclaimed dead. Ever since All Might felt that the embers he had lost connection to One for All itself. Some people mourned his death, his aunt Mitsuki, and uncle Masaru, Bakugo's parents, who saw Izuku as their own child ever since Inko's death. People who take it worse was his own classmates. I didn't saw Midobro's pain. He took his life because I wasn't there to be a good friend he could lean on. Kirishima was grasping his head. He couldn't believe his friend already died. Everyone in the classroom felt the same way. Me too. If Izuku-kun really felt that way and I saw through it, I would have sponsored for his therapy. The least I could do as his friend. Momo Yaoyorozu, the closest friend he has. Even closer than Bakugo. They spent 3 years as training partners and the class mom and class dad of their classmates. If only I knew. I'm such a bad friend, she solemnly spoke her thoughts. She felt a hand on her back. Kyoka Juru was patting her back to calm her down. Both look at Izuku's desk. Flowers were there along with his picture framed in black. I hope he's in a better place, both said, praying for their mutual friend. Unnamed island near the Japanese coast, Izuku and Astrid's cave. 11 p.m. Astrid was enjoying the view of the starry sky. Her heart longed to graze the clouds again. I wish I had Stormfly with me. She'd love this starry sky, she said while her hands reached for the sky. Unfortunately for her, that's one thing she couldn't do now that she didn't have Stormfly with her. You seem lonely. Enjoying the moonlight night sky filled with stars? Izuku, who was leaning on the cave entrance, asked her. Yeah. Yeah, I really do miss my dragon, and flying in the sky. It's our hobby except for killing dragon hunters, but that's beside the point, she replied. Izuku saw that look on her face. Care to dance with me in the sky? He asked. Then her gaze shot towards him. You can do th. She didn't have the chance to finish her words. Izuku speed blitzed behind her and took her by the waist. And shot off. Using float and air cannon, he propelled himself and her towards the sky. Ah. What are you doing? We're in the sky. Wait. We're in the sky? She was mesmerized by the view, the clouds, the beauty of the sky, and it was breathtaking. It's beautiful. Far more beautiful than the sky we are used to. This is amazing. You really could fly. She's firmly grasping Izuku's arm, not wanting to let go or else she'll fall. Think fast, Izuku, being the Sky Fox, said as their eyes met. What do you mean? Ah? Izuku let her go as she's falling down, her hair getting assaulted by the wind. You muttonhead. I'll kill you for this, she yelled while falling. Huh? Can't hear you. Wanna repeat that? Izuku teasingly replied. I will kill you, she replied back, her voice becoming a distant echo. Just kidding, Izuku said before using air cannon and propelled himself towards her. He blitzed to her and hugged her tightly. She did the same while breathing heavily. Don't. Ever. I mean. Ever do that to me again. She huffed between words. Izuku slowly untightened the hug, and she felt that. No, please. Don't let me go, don't. She begged. Ha 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 ha, sorry, it was too good to pass up, sorry. I'm sorry. He tightened his hold on Astrid. Don't worry, I'd never let you go, he said. Never. He whispered, and he started to descend it again, up towards the sky. As they pass up the sky, and even beyond the clouds. Look, it's beautiful, isn't it? He said, while Astrid still shakes from that situation earlier. Hey, I'm sorry I did that, but look, it's beautiful. I don't want you to miss this view. He whispered as Astrid slowly opened her eyes. It's amazing. The clouds, and the sparkling dust in the sky. Stars, was it? She saw Izuku nodding at her question. Yeah, and one of it is you. You shine the brightest amongst all these stars. A little tinge of blush creeps on her face. Izuku really knew his way with words. Thank you. For bringing me here, it feels like I'm home again. So thank you, really thank you. She rested her head on Izuku's shoulder. Thank you. At that, Izuku smiled. He knew at this moment he made his friend happy. They slowly descended down, back to their home, their cave. He puts Astrid down. She was disoriented for a couple of seconds, but the moment she regained her bearings. Astrid punched Izuku's shoulder. Ouch. Stop that, it tickles, you know. She gained a deadpan expression at what Izuku just said and remembered something. I sometimes forget how durable you are, she said with half-closed eyes. Being thrown around my All Might through buildings could do that to you. Izuku said, dreading the flashback he just had, All Might punching him through buildings while they were sparring. You got what now? You got thrown into those things you called buildings. How are you still alive? Astrid's mouth was wide open. I don't know, if maybe death just likes to dance with me. He got punched in the shoulder again by Astrid. You really are a muttonhead. She sighed while pinching the bridge of her nose. But for a moment when she opened her eyes she saw Izuku grasping his heart. Hey, what's happening to you? She asked, worried about him. No, it's fine, don't worry about me, I'll be fine. Izuku said, waving his pain off as if it was nothing, but his wasn't just nothing. Astrid saw the appearance of his arm. It was covered in this pitch-black shadowy substance, and some highlights of glowing purple all over his arms. No, that's not just fine. There's something going on with your arms. Why did you hide this from me? She got to Izuku. He was wobbling, so she gave herself as support for him to lean on. I'm fine. G-Raw. No, don't worry about me, I'll be fine. Her hold on Izuku tightened. She bit her lip to calm herself down. You're not fine. Stop hiding it. I know full well you're not fine. She helped Izuku sitting on the ground. Astrid cheeks every part of him, just to make sure this shadowy thing wasn't growing, and she saw his legs. It was the same, his whole legs was covered by the same shadows. No, please, you're being consumed by that thing, no. Please don't take him from me, she begged the shadowy substance. Her hold on Izuku didn't stay a hold, but a hug. She hugged Izuku. Don't take him. I have no one here. Just him, please don't take him from me. Hearing what she said, Izuku couldn't help but let his tears out, as both their eyes locked with one another. Don't leave me. Izuku, gritting his teeth, was fighting back with whatever this is that's consuming him. Please. Astrid begged. She doesn't want to let go of Izuku. Astrid, promise me one thing. I will give you something, if I die fighting whatever this thing is. I want you to find someone named All Might. You know him, I told my story with you. He cupped Astrid's cheeks. No, I won't accept it. Just stay. You won't die, just stay with me. I only have you left. Someone who I consider a friend, someone I love. She covered her mouth, and she saw the smiling face of Izuku. I wish I had more time with you. I wish I could explore what I feel towards you, Astrid. His voice was shaking. It takes all of him just to fight whatever this thing is. I'm sorry. He bit his lip, causing blood to drop down, and he kissed Astrid, not one of lust, but of desperation that lasted for 10 seconds as their lips parted away. I'm sorry, is all he said before he threw Astrid away, towards the cave entrance. No. The scream of Astrid echoed through the cave as she was forced out of the cave. I'm really sorry. From the entrance, Astrid's eyes locked with Izuku's own emerald eyes. Goodbye, Astrid, as he used One for All and punched at the top of the cave entrance, causing huge rocks to cover the entrance. I can't control it anymore. God damn it, it hurts. He screamed. The pain was unbearable. It's like his body was being eaten while he felt every single fiber of his muscles and flesh was being devoured by this shadowy thing. I need to fight this. The process isn't finished yet. I need to live for a couple of minutes so One for All could transfer to Astrid before I die. Izuku clenched his fist. I won't die easily. Arcs of green lighting surrounds his body as he's mentally fighting a battle of resistance and corruption. In Izuku's mind, he stood against a giant humanoid figure. The only thing he could see was the purple glowing eyes staring back at him. Behind him were the past wielder of One for All. Kid, what's that thing? And why did you forcefully transfer One for All to that girl? Daigoro Banjo asked him. Whatever that thing is, it's no good. I got chills just by looking at it. Nana Shimura the 7th added. 9th, we'll fight with you. Come on, ready yourself 9th. Yoichi the 1st said to him while putting his hand on Izuku's left shoulder. No. This isn't a fight we could win, please just go with her. Go with Astrid or we'll all die here. We'll lose this fight, I know it. At least if you go with her, One for All's journey won't end with me. Izuku with tears in his eyes pleaded, please first. Just please listen to me. The first user took a step back, still processing what Izuku said. Kid, are you suicidal? You can't take that thing alone. Banjo retorted. I know I can't, but what importance does a Deku like me hold? It's better if One for All is with her. She'll carry that torch better than me. Izuku screamed. Please, I'm being you all. As the 9th wielder, I am begging you, just go with her. I don't think I can keep this up, please. Their heartstrings were strung by Izuku's words. If it's your wish, I'll honor it, 9th, the 1st said, while patting Izuku's back. First or you, sir? Nana saw the look on Yoichi's face. He didn't look like he wanted this, but, please 7th, let's honor the boy's wish. The 1st, Yoichi started to crumble away as the other wielders followed with him. Nana was left with Izuku. Izuku Midoriya, if you fight that thing, search your heart. Think of someone important to you. Think of those persons and get it your all. Fight with everything you got. As Nana followed with them, she too crumbled down and disappeared from the vestige world. Looks like it's just you and me. Izuku approached the figure. He gains closer and closer to it. But the eyes didn't react, until he passed through it. For a moment, Izuku was blinded by darkness, but when he regained sight, he didn't saw anything but white void, and a single speck of something black in the distance. What's that? It looks out of place from all these white void. Each step he took closer to that speck, a memory replays in his mind. Think of some important to you. It's the memory of what Nana said to him. Hey, are you gonna eat or what? It's when Astrid invited him to have breakfast because she hunted a boar and cooked it. Thank for saving me. A memory of Astrid thanking him for saving her. I really feel drawn to you, you know. It's his own memory. of when he lightly touched the cheeks of a sleeping Astrid, confessing how he felt so attracted to her. Please don't let go, don't ever let me go. A memory of Astrid pleading for him to not let go, while they were up in the sky. If you really wanted to save people, why can't you save yourself first? It was the first motivation he received from Astrid. Then, Izuku saw that dark thing from his view. It looks like a heart. He reached for it, with one final step. Don't leave me. A memory of Astrid, pleading for him to not leave her. It happened just moments ago, before he forcefully threw her away and sealed the cave entrance. Don't leave me. Don't leave me. It replayed for him. Her voice strengthens him as he reached for the heart. Izuku took it, as memories flashed before his eyes. Before he uttered what he just took. Dot, 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 dot. The black heart. Izuku and Astrid's cave. At the rock-covered entrance of the cave, Astrid was trying to excavate every rock using her bare hands, but some are too heavy to even pick him. It took her almost 5 minutes just to take several down, but there's just too many, not even a small gap to peer through what's inside. Her hands were already shaking. No. No, I can't lose you. Please be alright, please be fine. She kept repeating the same sentence for the past 5 minutes, as tears were falling down her face. I can't lose you. You're the only one I have, please be okay. She was desperate, she wanted to help, she wanted to make sure Izuku was okay and fine. In Odin's name, Izuku, please be okay. Her frustration was growing, her inability to have strength made her do something instinctually. She punched the boulders with her fist as for a second her whole body was covered by white arcs of lightning. As a huge explosion shook the entire cave, and destroyed the boulders covering the entrance. What was that? Isn't this? Amazement at what she just did, then the sudden realization. Izuku. This is his quirk, then what happened to him if I have it now? She was praying nothing really did happen to him, so she rushed inside, dodging some fallen debris. If I have it then. No, I don't want that. I don't want him gone. He's the only one I have. She punched some debris away, and dodging some spikes, seeing Izuku there laying unconscious, she charged faster to him, dodging some spiky stalactites. I got you. Astrid protected Izuku from falling stalactites, punching them away, breaking apart from the power behind her punches. Seeing it's safe, she straddled Izuku's unconscious body and rested Izuku by her arms. It stayed with him, Astrid said while clutching Izuku's arm, seeing the shadowy substance is still there, but now something new shocked her from seeing Izuku's appearance. His chest. What's this glowing purple light on it? She saw it's the glowing purple light on Izuku's chest. It's all right, everything's fine now. I won't leave you, not now, not ever. She rested her head on Izuku's chest. He doesn't have a heartbeat. But he's alive, he's still breathing, so how? A face of confusion masked Astrid's face. How did this even happen? But no, I should be grateful, he won't be leaving me behind. She stayed there, resting on Izuku's chest. This quirk, it really takes a T. She lost consciousness, the backlash of One for All was too much for her, that it left her exhausted. I'm sorry, Hiccup, I can't go home anymore. I'm stuck in this place with no one to lean on except him, and worried for someone who isn't you. I don't even know what I am feeling right now. Her mind goes through with her feelings, the said feelings she's hiding for the past weeks. All I know is that I felt the same thing when you were blasted by ice by that alpha, seeing Izuku going through that agony. I couldn't lose him, Hiccup. My own feelings are betraying me, he's the only one I have. She unconsciously let out some stream of tears while imagining Izuku dying and leaving her, like how she left Hiccup and her family back in Burke. I'm sorry, Hiccup. I don't want to lose someone again. It ends with my uncle. I don't want to lose Izuku too. Little did she know, her intense attraction grew into infatuation. She doesn't know it, but the weeks that passed. Her feelings are growing stronger. Her infatuation has lingering feelings of attachment, because Izuku is the only one she has. She started shaking in her sleep, as Izuku's arm snaked on her figure as he embraced her by instinct. Both welcomed the warmth, as they slept their own exhaustion away. Time skip. 2 months after Izuku died. Ever since losing the connection with One for All, their deduction is Izuku Midoriya has long passed to the afterlife, taking One for All with him. Meanwhile, All for One didn't believe the information given by Aoyama Yuga. since All for One could see sense one for all through their connection. It's faint but it's still there. Someone is actively keeping the quirk at bay and he knows it. He doesn't particularly know who has the quirk now, but it's still there, still existing after the ninth's death. He will find it. I will not stop until I get that quirk. It belongs to me no matter how many successors there are. The quirk's only and rightful owner is me. All for One's thought, imagining who could be the new wielder as he got one dark thought about what he'll do. No matter who you gave it to, Izuku Midoriya, I will find them, and they will suffer the same fate as you and the rest of your predecessors. His eyes glowed purple, the All for One quirk signifying its hunger for power. I already took you down by giving you that quirk that destroys you from the inside. What's one more successor to the list? The 200-year-old living fossil couldn't help but chuckle, imagining how he'll end the 10th wielder. Scene change. It's been 2 months. Astrid already lost all hope of going back home and embraced her new life here, enjoying the mall and other stuff that for her sounds futuristic. In this past month she had control of One for All, far powerful than when Izuku had it, but harder to control. The highest percentage she could endure right now is 10%, which is equivalent to Izuku's 30%. Yes, the quirk is 3 times stronger with her than what Izuku had. He's helping her train, while he also trains the newfound abilities he gained from forced quirk awakening when he took the Black Heart. He has access to this dimension where he was outcast at first. Flashback. 2 days after his awakening, Izuku found himself in a world of shadows, where creatures of unknown origins roam free, from goblins, knights, dragons, angels, even humans who has the same appearance as him. Shadowy limbs and glowing purple light all over their bodies. Where am I? He asked no one, seeing so many races of creatures. What is this place? Where is this place? He surveyed the place. Who are you? You don't belong here. You're not one of my liege's shadows, are you? Izuku glanced behind him and saw a knight, adorned in the same dark shadowy armor with his eyes glowing purple. Who are you? Where am I? Izuku asked the knight. Lost human, I am Igris, the sword of the Shadow Monarch. Tell me, how did you found yourself here? The knight known as Igris asked, eyeing Izuku up and down. No idea. I just woke up here. By hearing that, the knight let out a sigh. You seem to be telling the truth. Seeing you are only in your astral form, then it's a given you're having a dream in your real world. But no matter, we'll get to the bottom of Igris's dialogue was cut short when a man landed near them. By appearance the man has nothing noteworthy, a black jacket and black cargo pants, although if the glowing purple eyes were an indication, this man isn't human either, the fact that even Igris kneels down to the man. My liege, exclaimed by the kneeling Igris. It's all right, Igris. I will handle the rest here, you can go back now. By his command, Igris retreated to the training field. Izuku couldn't help but feeling an icy shiver down his spine. He couldn't shake off the fear he's getting from this man. I've been waiting, Izuku Midoriya. He said, much to Izuku's surprise. You know who I am. How? Izuku asked. I do, since the Black Heart you took was a key for you to access this world. The man goes circles around Izuku. Dahlia was the real owner of that quirk. In your world, quirks grew to unprecedented degree that one manifested with the ability to access my domain. He explained, while Izuku is still processing it. You see, Izuku Midoriya, through the quirk I knew what happened to you, how this all for one person manipulated you, how he passed this quirk down to you through a letter, in order to break you. The man continues to circle around Izuku, while Izuku followed him, locking eyes with him. How Aoyama Yuga was the one he used to break you, to give you that letter, so by having the quirk you'll slowly break apart. He walks closer to Izuku, piece by piece, until you would doubt yourself. Why am I worthy of One for All? Why am I All Might's successor? Isn't that your train of thoughts? Izuku, hearing that, fell on his own ass, hitting the ground below. He manipulated me. Aoyama betrayed me. He saw the man nodding. Yes, he did. He checkmated you, but he didn't win the war yet, Izuku Midoriya. Izuku saw the man reached his hand out for him. Become part of my army, Izuku Midoriya, the army of shadows under me, the Shadow Monarch. Izuku took the hand and he was helped standing up. I accept. As all Izuku could say, he has no options, he only has this unknown power inside him to tame, since he lost One for All. He saw the man, a sincere smile, it was faint but it was there. Izuku Midoriya. The man reached for Izuku's head, and uttered a single word that destroyed the very foundations of Izuku's existence. Dot, 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 arise. Unnamed island near Japanese coast. Izuku and Astrid's cave. For the past 2 weeks after becoming the Shadow Monarch's soldier, where he gained the class, Elite Knight. He's a special case, since he has a system where the Monarch himself and his generals would give him a quest, and if he does the quest, he gains rewards from them. So far Izuku received a quest from Mashal Beru, a quest to watch K-drama of Izuku's world. Izuku didn't know why, but he did it, gaining a reward of Shadow Scythe. For only watching his local world K-drama. Although he's confused, he still respect the wishes of his superiors. I don't even know why Sir Beru wanted me to watch K-drama, but I guess it's worth the time binge watching it on my phone. Izuku thought while swinging his Shadow Scythe. But who am I to judge? He leapt up high and did a 360 degrees spin using his scythe to do a slashing motion, sending a wave of highly condensed purple shadow energy that cut through the boulder like it's butter. Hey Izuku, do you have an axe on you I could borrow? I wanna train too, I'll get rusty if I don't. Astrid asked, wishing that Izuku did have an axe. I don't. His dialogue was cut short when a quest appeared in front of him. Quest by Mashal Beru. Flirt with the maiden, and gain the axe used by the orcs. Just what I need, thanks Sir Beru. Izuku thanked his superior for the quest but realized the quest itself. Flirt. He looked with a deadpan expression. Huh, I think I heard you say no. Sorry, I asked for the IM. She was about to give up, but Izuku's eyes looking into hers didn't help. Rusty. Oh please, you're far from rusty Astrid Hofferson. I doubt you even need to train, I mean. Izuku walked to her and got his face inches away from Astrid's. Why does a perfect woman even need to be more perfect? He said. Then, he got punched in the side for flirting with her. Quest accomplished. The reward has been transferred to the shadow inventory of Izuku Midoriya, Elite Knight. Stop that, you're flattering me too much, she exclaimed after punching him. Izuku's eyebrow furrowed. I'm not imaging things right. She just stuttered and is flustered. His mind was overloading at the imagination of Astrid being a flustered mess. I was joking. Geez, come on, I'll bring out your axe so you could train. Izuku opened his inventory and brought out an axe, made of highly dense steel. Here, have fun with it, go nuts. Without a second thought, Astrid grabbed the axe and ran outside. Izuku focused on her face. He saw how happy she was while being given that axe. Thanks. You're the best. As her figure fades away from the distance. Women, he said while sipping a cup of tea, that no one knows came from. Back to training I guess, so if I suddenly, Izuku did a split, and use my free hand to. Izuku puts his hand on the ground and balance himself, his feet upwards. Propel myself upwards. His hand recoils and he was propelled upwards, and he does a mid-air backflip, and let gravity take control of my scythe. He lets his scythe go, and he landed on his feet. With his free hand. And wait for my scythe. The scythe comes back down and landed perfectly back on his hand and he tightly gripped it. Then slash. His swift motion, he does a slash sending another wave of energy that slices through a huge boulder. Efficiency and finesse. He stood there looking so smug about what he just did. Meanwhile with Astrid, she's currently training to wield the huge axe. This thing is so heavy. How did he even casually lifted it by one hand? She asked herself, still confused how Izuku lifted it so casually. Doesn't matter, I just have to work more harder. Then she closed her eyes and focused her mind. Focus, as memories flash before her. You have to focus, apply it to every parts of your body, every limbs. In order to master one for all, you have to share both will and strength, or it will consume you. Just let it flow like a calm river, Astrid, let it flow. I did it, she exclaimed, feeling the power all over her body, as streaks of white lightning began to dance all over her entire body. I managed to get it working. One for all really is amazing, it turns people into gods in the mythos, she exclaimed, excited about her predicament. I have lighting like Thor, strength of Tyr, but I need durability like Izuku said, so I need to get used to this kind of pain all over my body. She smiled. Whenever Izuku teach her something she always enjoys those moments. With him Doesn't sound so bad. Astrid spoke, with who doesn't so bad Ms. Hofferson. Izuku, who was leaning on a tree, asked, "Ah." By freight she lashed out with an air punch towards where Izuku is. He simply sliced through the air current, and it ceased to exist as the breeze calmed. "You scared me. Don't do that again," she reprimands him. "Oh. The most beautiful Viking woman, scared. Would have fooled me," he sarcastically said, earning her a tick mark on her forehead. "Hey, I said stop with the flirting flattery da," she yelled. "What? Afraid that I'm joking? Or," he flashed towards her, "or afraid you'll like it?" His face was so close to hers, that even a single bread wouldn't fit through the gaps. Another punch to the shoulder for Izuku, and he took it while chuckling. "I forgot how durable you are, you muttonhead." Her fist was red. Izuku didn't want to mess with her more, he's just worried for her. "I'm really sorry, you hurt your hand." He took Astrid's fist, and inspected it. "Are you okay?" he asked, worried. "I'm fine. Stop worrying, will you? It's just a little redness, it'll go away soon," she said, while Izuku took both her hands. "I am sorry. Really I am." He kissed her hands while they both locked eyes. "Why do you always do that? Why are you always so worried for me? Why does my heart keep beating faster when you show how important I am to you?" Astrid couldn't help but blush, as her heart was touched. "If you keep doing that, I would fall for you." She bit her lip, trying to hide her blush from Izuku. Scene change. MH News Station. "Everyone, we have a very bad news for today. The villain known as All for One had emerged." The reporter brought out a USB and let an assistant put it into the drive. "This is the bad news." A video from the drive played. All for One is sitting on his throne, littered with bodies of pro heroes that are in the top 100s. "Japan, I hereby declare a coup d'état. This fragile foundation the hero society has built is about to crumble down." We see him smiling. He wasn't just a masked man anymore. He let the world to see his mangled face. No eyes, no nose, just a mouth. "I have already destroyed the problems in my plans. A hopeful hero already died due to my genius mind," planting a seed of doubt inside his mind, and watch him destroy himself. He took his life. The camera shows how All for One laughed. Izuku Midoriya, the successor of the symbol of peace, is no more. Gone. He killed himself thanks to the quirk I planted in him. The emotionally unstable boy died, however he still transferred the quirk to someone else, although I think that wielder is weak. No control of the torch passed down to them by Izuku Midoriya. So I send this message: give up and surrender one for all to me, so your death will be painless. I give you 1 day. All for One took the camera, and made as closer to him as he showed his chilling villainous smile. Your move, 10th. As the feed cuts off, the video ends. The reporter sat there, shaking at hearing and seeing the horrific message sent by All for One. There you have it, folks. All for One declared war against hero society. The reporter said, still fear evident in his voice. Scene change. Time skip. 3 hours after training, Izuku and Astrid were sitting next to each other. Astrid, growing bolder by the minute, scooted over to Izuku. "Hey, can I rest on you?" she asked. "Sure, have it your way, Astrid." He gave permission, and she rested her head on Izuku's shoulder. "I'll stay here, close to you, where I feel safe," she said, while feeling her eyes already sleeping from all those training they did. "So please, don't leave me, okay?" she pleaded, and Izuku wrapped his arms around her. "I won't, I promise," he said, as Astrid smiled and Izuku moved her head from his shoulder to his chest. Feeling comfort, Astrid went ahead and slept on Izuku's chest, his warm arms wrapped around her. "Good night, Astrid." Izuku's lips curled. He wanted to say something, he wanted to let it out. He could only ruffle her hair, and spoke his thoughts. "I love you." The next day, Izuku woke up to 2 surprises. First, his body changed. The purple parts of his body became green, as now his body made of pitch black shadow and glowing green energy. He's slowly branching from the power of the Shadow Monarch. And the second one is that he's cuddling with Astrid. How did this even happen? I swear she was on my chest sound asleep. How did we get into this position? Izuku asked himself. Without his knowledge, purple and black shadow was slowly getting smaller and smaller at the corner of their cave. Densmic. Izuku shot back, looking around he was on guard. I swear I heard something. Seeing nothing around, he dropped his guard. Must be the wind or something, I'm getting paranoid. He gave Astrid hair a single stroke, and started caressing her back, tracing her neck down to the end of her spine. You really are an angel when you're asleep, when awake though, nah, still an angel. I don't have a death wish. He got some PTSD when Astrid got too flustered and almost killed him for teasing her too much. I hope you didn't hear what I said to you back there yesterday. He paused. He knew that Astrid felt something towards him, but he knew that back then she couldn't let go just yet. Going closer to her ear, Izuku whispered, I will wait for you. Until that place in your heart isn't occupied, I will wait. He gave her a quick kiss on the cheeks. She woke up. Astrid woke up. She's locking eyes with Izuku, who was starting to share. Hey Astrid, how are you? He greeted her. She didn't care what he was saying and only wrapped her arms around Izuku's torso. 5 more minutes. She forcefully made Izuku lay back down with her, Astrid's arms still coiled around his torso. Back. Sleep. Izuku. She got comfortable back on Izuku's chest, and went back to sleep, leaving a confused Izuku, slowly closing and opening his eyes. Just, what are we, Astrid? He's hopeful that one day she'd love him too. He knows, deep inside him he could never replace Hiccup as the first love. But the pride in him as a man wants to do more, to be the man she needs and wants. Is there really a chance with the two of us? He asked. No one. But for a moment, when Izuku said that, Astrid slowly looks up, opening her eyes and locking them with Izuku's glowing emerald eyes. There is, but I don't know how you really feel, Izuku. Izuku was shocked. She was listening to him. He really didn't think about it clearly when he said all those things. Why, you were listening? He saw her nod. I was. Izuku sighed after hearing her reply. Look Astrid, I really don't have what it takes. My own crush choose my bully over me. I mean, what good is there for women to even consider me? He paused, as Astrid was about to butt in and deny his claim about himself being not noteworthy. You see Astrid, I could never be as great as a man Hiccup was. I'm just, well, a Deku someone usual. He got cut off by Astrid, who forced his face to look at him. She cupped both his cheeks. Listen, I don't ever want to hear you talking down on yourself ever again, Izuku. Truth is, I love you too. Just yesterday it made my heart flutter when you said I love you after you ruffled my hair. Izuku's eyes widened. She heard all of it. Izuku, I know you can't be Hiccup. Izuku, you're you. Just be who you are. Be the man who saved me from those collapsing pillars. Be the same man who risked his life for me. Be the same man who stayed in this cave with me for months. She didn't hesitate, and brought Izuku's face close to hers. As time slowed, their lips united, their feelings aligned. As their lips locked, their relationship was solidified. Their lips parted for a moment. Does this mean? Izuku paused, and Astrid placed her finger on his lips. Yes Izuku, yes we are, as she continued, and locked lips with him again, this time more passionate than ever. The beautiful journey of today could only begin when both at the same time let go of yesterday. Izuku and Astrid had learned to lean on one another, letting go of both their past to walk hand in hand, and side by side with one another. As both were the new volume of a book of each other's lives. They parted, leaving a trail of saliva as both locked eyes with one another. I love you, both said in unison. Scene change. Hours later, Izuku decided to take Astrid with him to get some clothes, their very first official date. His face is covered by mask, a mask he borrowed from Tusk. Got anything you wanted, Astrid? Izuku asked, Astrid clinging on his left arm. Underwear, I think I really need a set of those. She answered, a bit embarrassed. Sure, let's get some for you. I think Victoria's Secret is around the corner. Astrid's eyebrow furrowed. Whose secret now? She asked, a bit jealous hearing some girl's name come out of Izuku's mouth. PFTTT ha ha ha. It's a brand of clothing and perfume Astrid. He replied, while Astrid let out a very innocent, oh. It's cute seeing you jealous, at a brand no less. Izuku chuckled, while Astrid, having enough of the teasing, punched him in the shoulder. Ouch, it doesn't hurt, but still ouch. He slyly said, while nudging her side. Drama queen. She rolled her eyes, and dragged Izuku towards the said store brand. Then for a moment, Astrid stopped. Izuku, isn't that your classmates? She asked while pointing at a corner. Shit, it's Uraraka and Bakugo. He squirms trying to ran away from there, booking it like hell and run, but Astrid stopped him. Don't run, you have a mask, just calm down. Let's not waste our date because of them, you have me now. She tightened her grip on his hand, then Izuku relaxed and felt the comfort her words gave to him. Thanks Astrid. Thanks Shadow Monarch, you're here with me. She flicked him on the forehead for being such a wuss for seeing his classmates. Yeah babe, I guess that old fossil all for one is really desperate at this point, who would even declare war on live TV. The conversation between Ochako and Bakugo, as they passed by Izuku and Astrid. TF kind of weirdo uses that weird mask, was Bakugo's comment on Izuku's mask. Shish, shut up, don't start anything here. He was dragged away by Uraraka before anything could happen. As they got away, Izuku snarled at Katsuki's remarks. Tisk, better guy than me, huh, what a letdown. He side-eyed the couple. Come on, just ignore those two. Astrid dragged him away. Yeah, you're right, we should continue our date, wasting our time with them isn't worth it. As he happily smiled while being dragged away by Astrid. Scene change. Island of Burke. 2 months after Astrid's disappearance. The gang found a woman with blonde hair like Astrid, but the woman when they got to Burke attacked, thinking the gang and Hiccup were her enemies. As weeks, then a month, the woman adapted to this new world unknown to her. She lives with Hiccup and Volca, although being visited by Snotlout and being flirted by him caused the woman some headache. She only has an eye on one man. Hiccup Haddock, the chief of the Burkeans. You helped me, now it's time I help you. The woman ruffled the sleeping Hiccup's hair. She saw how broken he was. Losing Astrid took a blow in Hiccup's mental state. She inched closer. Thank you for saving me in that cave, she whispered. Now let me help you. She looks at Hiccup, his innocence yet broken expression while having a nightmare caused her to put her hand on the man's chest. Let me thaw your frozen heart, Hiccup. Back at Burke. It's been months since Astrid's disappearance, and with the arrival of Elsa in his life. Hiccup couldn't be more confused and broken at his current situation. He had spent exactly 5 months without Astrid in his life, and Elsa came 2 months after Astrid's disappearance. He's chucking it up that whatever happened to Astrid must have happened to Elsa too, but Elsa was sent to Burke, while Astrid was sent to somewhere unknown. Hiccup had given up after 2 months of Astrid's disappearance. No matter how he searched the archipelago with his dragons, a whole flock of dragons scattered all over the archipelago, but still no signs of her anywhere. It's been 5 months, Astrid, and here I am having my heart beat for a woman who isn't you. Hiccup held his head in frustration. Just what is wrong with me? He swiped away the book of dragons in his fury. Why is my heart beating so fast when I'm with her, with Elsa? He sighed, and looked at the ceiling of his house. I don't know how I feel. He slammed his hands on his desk. You're moving on, Hiccup. That's what you're feeling right now. Then Hiccup glanced at his door, and saw black hair, slim body. Heather, what are you doing here? Hiccup asked. Just checking on our dear chief. You know my brother would hate to see you that way, Hiccup. He sees you as his brother. She explained. It's time, Hiccup. Heather walked towards Hiccup and sat on his bed. Sometimes, you have to let go, or it will consume you. She stood and rested her hand on Hiccup's shoulder. Astrid's is in a better place now, Hiccup. Wallowing in your room won't bring her back. He swiped away Heather's hand. Can you blame me? I don't even think it's love anymore. I'm just clinging to the memories I had with her, with Astrid. He slumped back down on his chair, and it's toxic, Hiccup. You're chaining yourself down to mere memories of you guys together, she said. I know it's painful, Hiccup, losing people you love, but sometimes you need to give yourself a chance. Give yourself the chance to love again and not hide away in your room for comfort. Heather saw the tears in Hiccup's eyes. I know, she heard Hiccup mumble to himself. Be honest with me, Hiccup, does your heart still beat for her or there's someone new? Heather asked, and she saw Hiccup flinch when mentioning about someone else. I met someone. Hearing that, Heather smiled a bit. She knew the bond Hiccup and Astrid had, and for some time she's there to see it. But now Hiccup's shield is cracking. Good, and Heather urged him to continue. Just being honest with myself. She's pretty. Her blonde hair as shiny as polished Gronkel iron, and her eyes, sometimes I got myself captivated by it. He heard a light chuckle from Heather. Ha ha ha, there we go Hiccup, now that's the spirit. I know it's hard, but please take my word into account and give yourself a chance. To her surprise, Heather saw Hiccup nodding his head. Hiccup was looking at both his hands. Maybe I should. If Astrid arrived the same way as Elsa, I just hope someone is taking care of her the way we're taking care of Elsa. Heather saw him, the wallowing depressed chief of Burke, smile. See, why don't you both get to know each other better, open a good conversation and start there. Why not try teaching her Dragonese, the language of dragons? Heather saw Hiccup's eyes light up. You're right, Hiccup exclaimed and tightly hugged Heather. You're a lifesaver Heather, thank you. Hiccup exclaimed, as Heather saw him running out of the room, and his target is Elsa, who's at the dragon arena. You really are hopeless Hiccup. She touched her chest, on top of her heart. And I'm hopeless for you too. A single tear came down from her cheeks. At least you're not alone anymore, she spoke, her voice sobbing. I just hope this Elsa takes good care of you. She smiled, even with the tears dripping down her face. Heather stood there looking out the window with a content look on her face. I wish I could find someone too, said Heather with a hopeful expression on her delicate face. Scene change. Dragon Arena, New Burke. Hiccup sat next to Elsa, who was listening to him explaining words in Dragonese. She's an avid listener, but her mind wasn't in the lesson but to him, to Hiccup. It's good to see you so energized, like how your friends described you. Her thoughts lingered on Hiccup's face and how happy he looks while explaining some things to her. So yeah, translation of fish needs a good growl at the end. Are you listening, Elsa? He asked, the girl who was too fixated at him. Oh yeah, I am. Continue. She protested, if you say so. He gave up and didn't said anything further. Then, an hour passed as the lesson continued, and Hiccup got more and more closer to Elsa, who seemed to be very interested in the lessons. At one point, their hands touched. Not one of them retracts their hand. They didn't move it away as they simply look at each other. Both knew their relationship wasn't just gonna be casual, but far deeper, as the tale of the Viking chief of the Burkians and the Queen of Ice, and formerly of Arendelle, continues with guiding each other on this world full of dragons and Vikings, having each other's backs at every step they take. As the looming threat of Argo the Destroyer slowly breathed down their necks, they only have a few months to prepare against the worst version of Drago Bloodfist, Argo the Tamer of the Purple Death. Scene change. Unnamed island near Japanese coast, Izuku and Astrid's cave. They just arrived a few hours ago after shopping, and Astrid was so excited to try her new Viking clothes. She even stole Izuku's scythe just to take a picture with her new attire. Looks good Astrid, you do look flat. He was hit by his own scythe in the head, ouch. He whined. What were you about to say? She asked, ominous aura behind her as Izuku gulped in fear of the woman he loves. Nothing. I feel I made an error of some kind, Izuku said while scratching his cheek. Good, she huffed. I was joking, come on, Izuku said while hugging her legs like a koala. Don't give me the eyes, I swear Izuku, if you give me the E, she protested as Izuku looks at her with puppy dog eyes. Fine, I forgive you trying to comment about my chest. She ruffles his hair, yay. Izuku exclaimed, still hugging Astrid's legs. Plus, you know chest isn't everything in a woman, Astrid, Izuku said, already standing as he smiled at her. What I want in a woman is far important than chest. His finger traced her chest, then it landed on where her heart is. It's this is far more important than any beauty, big chest, or charm that a woman can give. Her heartbeat got faster than ever. Izuku really does know his way with words. This is important, Astrid, because this is the real you, not your body, not your beautiful face. But the real you is inside there. His flattery for her got the best of her as she lunged on Izuku. Your flattering can't get you anywhere, Izuku, she said before hugging him. But it can get me to your lips, Izuku replied before almost kissing Astrid since he got punched. That's for almost saying my chest is flat. She retracts her fist. Izuku stumbled for a moment. Ow, what the he? Izuku was grabbed by his collar and got kissed passionately by Astrid before their lips parted after a good minute of nothing but kissing, a little bit of tongue action. And that's for everything else. She let go of his collar and walked away, giggling to herself, leaving Izuku there standing still like an ice sculpture. I don't know what to feel, he said while biting his lip, before realizing his shadow. A few knights in his shadow were giving him a few thumbs up. I swear you damn soldiers enjoy drama too much. He stomped on his shadow as the knights and mages disappeared. Unnamed island near Japanese coast. Izuku and Astrid's cave. It's the next day. It's currently 7:07 a.m. and Izuku was given a notification from the shadow system. Notification. Commander Grade Kaizel, would like to be your mount. Yes or no? Commander Grade. That's a grade higher than me. Could I really summon a superior again? Izuku's lovely morning was bombarded by his notification, and is currently contemplating if he should accept this one. It's an opportunity, so why not? He thought. Yes, I accept, he said as two eyes locked eyes with him through his shadow. You must be Kaizel. I'm sorry sir, but you'll have to wait for the right time to be summoned. Again sorry sir. Izuku said, profusely apologizing to someone higher than him. He growled. And huff, of the piercing gaze of the figure within his shadow. Thank God that one is very appreciative and welcoming. Last time I summoned a superior, General Greed chased me straight to Japan for interrupting his training. Izuku by instinct thanked God out of the blue. He's somewhat scared of some of his superiors in the Shadow Army. Scene change. Izuku took Astrid for a beautiful date across the skies. The two on top of Kaizel, Izuku's superior and now a shadow under him. For some odd reason Kaizel immediately took a liking of Astrid. The wyvern acted like a domesticated puppy whenever Astrid is near. The duo were enjoying the night sky, as for a few minutes they saw what's below. Fire, Izuku asked, seeing several burning buildings. Izuku, I think this is something you call a villain attack, is it? Astrid asked and Izuku nodded. Yeah it is, I'm sure of it. Kaizel, land us there, we need to find out what's really happening. The giant shadow dragon obliged and landed them on Japanese soil. What's happening here? Izuku was pushed by civilians trying to flee away from the chaos that's ensuing. Run, run, the villains had gone rampant. There is no symbol, no heroes to save us. A random civilian shouts, fear in their voice. So that's what's happening here, Izuku, let's help these poor people. Astrid said and glanced to Izuku, who was already gone, and is gone, since I'm not from here. I could bash their heads in, right? Astrid asked herself, her Viking mindset already kicking as she took out Izuku's scythe. Woohoo, she exclaimed while running towards the fray like a bloodthirsty woman that she is. It did tone down when she became a dragon rider, but her bloodthirsty nature as a Viking is still there. So she ran, with scythe in hand, ready to murder villains like it's a normal Tuesday stroll. Where are you villains? Let me cave in your skulls, was her yell before she became a distant figure from Kaizel's view. Scene change. Izuku punched a villain in the gut, then he summoned a set of daggers. And cleave another villain's leg who was trying to hit Izuku from him. Then, Izuku got stabbed. Ha, you're dead you brat. Izuku smiled at that man, not sincerely but one of malice and sinister. Did you really think I would die because you killed me? The villain retracted his knife, and saw it. What's happening? Why are you not bleeding? I stabbed you. The villain shouts, as Izuku's wound didn't have a single drop of blood. But something out of the wound began to ooze out. From Izuku's wound, shadow substance began to cover it, then, it disappears along with his wound. You can't kill me. In a blur, Izuku disappeared as the man looks at the itchy pain in his chest. There, he froze. His heart was in Izuku's hand. How heartless, Izuku said sarcastically before clenching the man's heart as it pops from the pressure of Izuku's hand. Now's it's literal, he said before throwing the crumbled heart. The villain lost the lights in his eyes and falls down. Dead, that's my first time killing, Why'd I like that feeling? Must be because they're villains, he said before jumping upwards trying to spot more villains. There another one. And he sent a foot soldier knight, who stabbed the man in the gut. There two on your right. Izuku shouts pointing at a direction for his knight to follow. Good. As Izuku saw the knight, cleaving through a villain like they were butter. Good job Knight B. Izuku congratulates the knight. I wonder how Astrid is doing. He thought, I'm sure she's doing fine. She's a nice girl, maybe she's helping civilians, he added. Scene change. A harmonic screams of agony echoes throughout town, as Astrid went on a murder spree on these villains. Pretty lady, why don't you join our side? I swear you'd be satisfied when you're with us. A villain spoke while looking down at Astrid before licking his lips. Seeing Astrid's as something tantalizing. Gross. Using one for all at 5%, Astrid leapt at the man's direction and cleanly sliced through him like butter. ACKKKK. Was the man's like groan of agony as his torso separated from the rest of his body. I hate men like you, you're gross. You're like young Snotlout, but worse. She spat at the man's severed corpse. She doesn't got a single idea, but the scythe she borrowed from Izuku has an active skill. Blood Frenzy, which brings out the bloodthirsty nature of the user. It brings it out, then boosts that desire. In exchange for plus 30% strength. Wait, I can locate these villains now. I am sure 3 villains are around that corner. Her eyes wandered at said corner and she ran for it, towards the corner, her weapon ready. Lo and behold, there was 3 villains and they're undressing a girl, as old as Astrid. The girl was begging. Terrified of what will happen to her now. Let that woman go. Astrid commanded. Oh look, some bitch wants to get in on the fun, the scarred left eye man said. Scurry along, Missy, be back later after we're done with this one. The one with the dragon tattoo in his cheek said. Please help me, the girl begged. You son of a half-troll bastards, Astrid cursed under her breath. Close your eyes. This will be bloody, Astrid said to the poor girl, and she did. The moment Astrid saw the girl close her eye, one of the 3 villains' head flew off. Kajiro. You fucking blonde bitch, you'll pay for killing Kajiro. The dragon-tattooed one lunged at Astrid, but she does a front barrel roll and dodged the sharp nail-like projectiles that barely graze her. I need more power. The arcs surrounding her body became sharper, far more arcs of lightning than usual. 7%. Astrid muttered under her breath, and she lunged at the man with the scar first. Behind you, Ryu. The moment the villain saw Astrid behind his buddy, he's confused why a scythe suddenly embedded in his chest, from the back. You son of a b. Last one wanted to yell, but his head flew away before he could finish what he's about to say. Don't open your eyes yet, I'll drag you away from this sight first. Astrid dragged the poor girl to a safe place. There, you can open them now. The girl opened her eyes and saw Astrid. Thank you, miss, she exclaimed. Astrid nodded. No problem. Then, Astrid jumps away using 7% of one for all. Now where did that boyfriend of mine have gone to? I hope he doesn't do anything moronic. Astrid muttered, huffing at the thought of Izuku doing dumb things again, as he leapt building to building trying to find Izuku's green unkempt hair from the streets. Then she found him in one street, mountains of dead villains under his feet, a solemn look on his face while looking down on those corpses. I just jinxed it. As she looks at Izuku's arm. He was clutching on a severed arm, then Astrid landed beside him. And heard him say, damn it, that crusty bastard got the chance to run away. Is all she heard him say, as he threw the severed arm away. Crusty bastard? Astrid asked, then he glanced at her. Oh, someone who's under all for one's thumb. The cry baby I met at the USJ and the mall. Astrid nodded at his short story. Are there any villains left? She asked Izuku. No, I think there's none left since I sent my night soldiers to make sure not one of them still breathes. By the way, you had fun? He informed and asked Astrid. He then saw Astrid nodding excitedly. Yeah, I saved a girl from what do you call them again? I think it's the raw. Izuku covered her mouth before she could finish her sentence. Okay, I get it, just don't explain that. His hand was still over her mouth, and she nodded. So, wanna get back home or you have some plans? Astrid asked, contemplating Izuku. I think I have somewhere we need to visit together. I want you to meet my mother since we're already here. Izuku informed her. Oh finally. I can't wait to meet the best mother this world has. Astrid held Izuku's hand and smiled at him, making her body closer to Izuku. He smiled at that. Let's go, Astrid, I know Mom will love to meet you. Scene change. Izuku had brought Astrid to his mother, to Inko Midoriya. Astrid was a little bit confused. Where's your mother, Izuku? Then, she followed Izuku's hand, and it pointed to a private resting place where an urn was placed at the center, and a picture of a green-haired woman beside it. Izuku, I don't understand. She's really confused. Why would Izuku point at a picture and call her mother? Astrid. Izuku brought her into a hug. He knows Astrid's confusion is genuine. He knew their ritual was far different from them. Astrid, that's my mom. This is her resting place. Astrid, she's dead. Astrid just realized what he meant, and she felt Izuku tightening the embrace. Izuku's hand landed on the glass that separated him and his mother. Mom. I'm back, Mom. I want you to meet someone. Izuku kissed Astrid's cheeks. Mom. I want you to meet my girlfriend. Mom, this is Astrid. Astrid also rested her hand on the glass. Hello. My name is Astrid Hofferson, Izuku's girlfriend. I'm glad I met you today. While I'm with Izuku, I always wanted to meet the woman who raised Izuku right. I wish we could talk, get to know each other. I wanted to make a promise with you, ma'am. Izuku rested his hand on Astrid's hand that was touching the glass. I promise you, ma'am, I will be the best girlfriend and soon wife if Izuku takes me. I promise to keep Izuku in line and prevent him from doing anything moronic. Astrid smiled. Izuku really did miss his mother, and Astrid finally met the woman who gave birth to Izuku and raised him to the man that he is. Little did they know. I miss you, Mom. A figure, transparent. A figure of Inko Midoriya, was hugging both of them, her face full of happiness. I'm proud of you, Izuku. A cool breeze passed by Izuku and Astrid as the two smiled. Kamino Ward villain-based, Tamura. What happened to you? How did the plan go? All for One asked his student while looking at the stump where his student's arm should be. And what happened to your arm, Tamura? All for One added, pointing at his student's arm. Some shadow bastard took it off, master. He said it's payment for what you did, and his coming for your spy. Tamura Shigaraki retorted, causing All for One to raise his eyebrow. Izuku Midoriya? It couldn't be. My brother's quirk already have passed to the 10th wielder. How? He pondered. Whoever he is, master is strong. He didn't got affected by my quirk. I saw it myself. He didn't got decayed. Yelled by a furious Tamura. Flashback. It's been a while, Tamura. Or should I call you Tenko now? Which is it? The left or the right? The figure clad in armor of shadows spoke, sending shivers down Tamura's spine. Who are you? He yelled in frustration, seeing his army of villains dead on the man's feet. Your debt collector, the figure yelled. As before even Tamura could react, Kurogiri warped him away ever since the Nomu detected the danger the figure posed. Damn you! Yelled by Tamura, grasping his other arm, which was grabbed by the figure and cleaved it off. No time, be safe, young master, Kurogiri said before he too disappeared. We'll see each other soon. Your appearance can lie, but your soul can't. Oboro Shirakumo, as dread covered Kurogiri before he warped away along with Tamura. Flashback end. He called me by a name, master. Does Oboro Shirakumo ring a bell, master? Kurogiri asked his master, All for One, who got wide-eyed if he got an eye to widen. How? How does Izuku Midoriya know so much about us? All for One, in the deepest pits of his soul, he felt dread. The shadow don't lie, All for One. We'll see one another again. Next time, I'll separate your spine from your body. The corner of the room where it was dark, a voice spoke. Dobby, who was just listening on them, fired at the corner. Who's there? He yelled, as he stopped his blue flames to wait for a response. You'll have your time to. They all saw green eyes within the dark shadow. I'll come to collect you too. The shadow began to get smaller as it retreated into the void. Until next time, Tenko Shimura, Chuya Todoroki, your time will come. I will come. The shadow spoke, before it disappears. Get back here, you bastard. Dobby fired another volley of flames. You idiot, you're going to burn this damn place. Tamura stopped him. For a moment that the flames subside, there was no one. He's coming, first all for one with dread in his tone. He was already dealing with heroes now. Izuku Midoriya, a third party will come for their heads too. He's not coming to imprison us, he's here to reap our souls. All for One's hands were shaking. The Demon King felt true fear for the very first time. As Tamura's knee weakened and he hit the hard floor. Let him come. We'll kill him for good. isn't that right, sensei? Tamura asked, all for one who didn't speak back, just staring at where the shadowy figure was. Scene change. Unnamed island near Japanese coast. Izuku and Astrid's cave. Izuku was at the bonfire, eyes closed as if he was focusing about something. Are you okay, Izuku? His girlfriend Astrid asked, as she rested her whole body in Izuku's embrace, her head on Izuku's chest. Why are you grinning like a moron? She asked. Oh, nothing, just scared the shit out of someone who's supposed to be the symbol of fear. Izuku said, ruffling Astrid's hair. It's gonna be alright, you won't have to fight him, Astrid. I'll personally deal with him, he said while smiling, sinisterly. Oh, him, you'll beat him no problem, but I wanna fight too, you know. Can I take care of his mutton-headed army? Izuku nodded at her as she smiled. He'll know soon enough that he shouldn't have gazed into the abyss. Izuku's emerald glowed bright. Because the abyss gazes back. Scene change. God damn that Deku. It's almost 3 months and he's not seen anywhere. I should have gotten that quirk instead of his useless ass. Katsuki Bakugo threw his lamp. I should have gotten that quirk instead of him. He slammed his fist on his desk. Now that he's inside his dorm room, he could let all his frustrations out. It should have been given to me. Not him. Not that bastard who keeps looking down on me. He slammed both his clenched hands on his desk. He's gritting his teeth from frustration just thinking about everything. If that son of a bitch wanted to die, he could have given one for all to me before he did. I could have been the number one with that damn quirk. All Might should have gave me that quirk in the first place. Not him. Not that useless Deku. I bet he's laughing at me from his goddamn grave. He yelled. His breathing was heavy. Frustration at Deku for dying with choosing him as his successor. I was supposed to break him first. I already took Uraraka from him, but that useless disappeared and died without giving it away. Generations upon generations worth of power in a quirk, wasted by that Deku. He yelled at the top of his lungs. He's lucky the room was soundproof, since anyone could hear that from outside if it isn't. Scene change. Sanctuary of Heroes, Cemetery. All Might stood slumped. Looking at his successor's grave with no body buried was painful for the symbol of peace. He really loved the boy, and treated him like his own son. He would always give Izuku some allowance, ever since Inko died. He promised the woman he'd take care of Izuku, but for him. It's like he failed at the promise he made to Inko. I failed you, young Midoriya. I'm sorry, my boy. He rested the flowers on Izuku's tomb. I failed as a teacher and, as a parental figure. I'm sorry I didn't saw through your pain, my boy. I really do. His tears were flowing down, as raindrops soaked his hair and entire suit. I wanted to see you on the top, young Midoriya. The time when you become the symbol of peace. The time you take that title from me as I watch from the sideline, cheering you on, my boy. He kneels, and caress Izuku's tomb. I wish I could turn back time, my boy. I would cherish you. I would assure you how important you are to us. I'll stay here, young Midoriya. I'll be your company for now, my boy. He really wanted to hug his successor, to tell the boy how proud he was of him. You mean so much to me, young Midoriya. You were like a son I never had. I wish I could call you. All Might paused, wiping away the tears that fell from his sunken cheeks. My son. Unnamed island near Japanese coast. Izuku and Astrid's cave. Izuku walks towards Astrid, who was doing something with training one for all. He has plates of food in hand. Hey Astrid, I got our brie. He paused, and put down the plates before he got into a laughing fit. Ha 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 ha. What are you doing, Astrid? He's grabbing his stomach from his uncontrollable laughter. Hey, I was just charging the phone you gave me. She yelled in retort. With the charger on your mouth, ha 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 ha. This is hilarious. He's in his laughing fit. Then you charge this? We have no electricity, genius. Astrid sent him a glare that made him shiver. Oh okay, I'll charge it. Now where did I put that solar generator? He walked away, trying his best not to get a scythe to the head, so he hurriedly went to find it. Hurry Izuku, I have to feed my dragons, in Dragon City. She yelled, as Izuku doubled the effort. Coming right away, madam, Izuku replied. Astrid had been an avid player of Dragon City for the past week now. She missed Stormfly, so at least in Dragon City she could care and raise a dragon to sat her feeling of being homesick. Scene change. Class 3A, Classroom UA. Izuku's spot in 3A has been taken by a purple-haired sleep-deprived boy, who could be passed off as Aizawa's son. A late transfer but a needed one since they need to fill the void in the classroom of their missing, dead classmate. You still have that Yaomomo. I have mine too, Kyoka said, while dangling her own Deku Alpha suit keychain. Of course, Izuku did give me this on my birthday and in return I gave him my own Kriti keychain. Momo replied, Izuku was their mutual friend. Cool, I didn't give him anything though, I have no merchandise like you too. Momo giggled at her friend. Kyoka wasn't the type to sell her own merch. Izuku on the other hand would sell his merch so he could buy All Might figures and merch. If the dumbass just asked All Might could have given him the whole factory. Scene change. Back with Izuku. He's been in the corner for a while now. He's another episode of his painful memories. It doesn't hurt him physically but still emotionally he isn't invincible. All Might shouldn't have given you one for all. Memories of Night Eye belittling his potential, and All Might's decision of picking him resurfaced in his mind. All Might could still have one for all. Instead his career died because he can't continue. One for all wasn't supposed to be in your hands. It wasn't supposed to be you. Instead he chose you. You're just a kid, who has no idea what he's doing. Shut up Night Eye, I deserved one for all. Izuku yelled while clutching his head. All Might was supposed to be working until now bringing hope to people. You're not supposed to be the successor. It was supposed to be Mirio. Instead he chose you. You're a mistake. Shut up. Izuku from the depths of his heart. You can see the future but you can't predict your own death. You're the mistake Night Eye, Izuku added, clenching his fist. That's why I stole your damn poster. Payment for being a dick while I was in your agency. All you see is Mirio. Mirio that. Mirio this. To hell with Mirio. I have my problems too. I have my dreams too. Why can't you put your trust in me for once? Izuku felt arms around his waist. Having another attack Izuku? Astrid asked, resting her head on his shoulder calming him. Yeah. Sorry I yelled out of nowhere. I can't control when my delusions attack me. Astrid lovingly explored his body. This calms Izuku down. Thanks, Astrid, for always being there for me. He said, you were there for me when I was alone Izuku. You didn't leave me, so I have to give my support to double, triple, 1,000-fold. He. She nozzles her nose on Izuku's neck. You're the sweetest, you know that right? He said, you always remind me that, of course I do. She said lovingly while giving Izuku a quick kiss on the lips. Come on, quit sulking. Astrid took Izuku's hand and guided him to their new bed. Let's take a rest, looks like you really need it. She said before pushing Izuku on the bed, and jumping onto him. As the both of them cuddled up, and rested for today due to stress of training and their aching body really needed it. Scene change. News report has stated that an unknown man with shadow-like quirk, his distinct feature is his unkempt unruly green hair, has been spotted by our chopper on top of villains' dead bodies made into a mountain from the numbers of them. I don't know how to react. Sure what he's doing is illegal but just me, this is just my opinion, he's doing good by hunting these villains, as heroes weren't in the scene, they were late. That's all for today folks, I'll be back with more local news after this advertisement. Iida turned the TV off. Hey man. We're watching. Kaminari protested. Watching vigilante doing heroes work is bad for our mindset Kaminari-kun. Iida spanked the air as if it's a bad girl. Calm down, you're not a robot Iida. Hiroshima added as the chopping boy stopped. What's your opinion about him anyway? Just asking. Shoto, who just got into the conversation, asked. Well, for me, his kind of doing good, less villains around, less people in danger. Zero butts in, puffing his vape. Zero-kun, stop vaping. Iida reprimands him. Chill man, it's just vape. It's not a cigar, give me a break, I'm stressed. Zero replied while Kirishima looks at him. You're stressed how? His spiky red-haired friend asked. Bakugo man. I can't deal with him anymore, he just became more shitty because he got Midoriya's crush. Zero rolled his eyes, already done with Bakugo's antics. He keeps bragging to me how his fucking Midoriya's crush, like bro. Do I look like I give a fuck if you did? Geez, I'm not even Midoriya and I'm pissed at him. Zero puffed another breath of his vape. He really needs to stop with his unruly behavior. Unbefitting of a hero, he sounds more like a villain these days. Iida shook his head. I can't believe I'm friends with Uraraka. Iida sighed. Hey, if I have Midoriya's quirk and he did that to Jiro, I'm going to prison just to let you guys know. Kaminari added, also tired of Bakugo's daily bragging. Kaminari, that's not her, never mind, I would too. Iida mid-sentence changed his mind. Why are you even still friends with him, Kirishima? Kaminari asked, a little agitated now. Who said I was? I stopped being friends with him the moment he betrayed the bro code. All the boys nodded. How about you, Todoroki? Todoroki shook his head. No, never been friends with him. Now I hate him more. He's worse than my father, and it's saying something. Shoto replied. I hate him too. He gets a girl but is treating Uraraka like a trophy. Mineta, who just arrived, added. Oh hey Mineta bro, yeah I see that too. All the time he's with Uraraka he's treating her like a trophy. All the boys sighed. Meanwhile, guys, the cake is done, let's eat. Sato said from the kitchen. Heck yeah, eat it all before Bakugo gets here. Kaminari rushed there while laughing. Scene change. Principal's office. Nezu was currently reviewing the news footage, every single second, every single frames of it. He has some itch in his mind the moment he saw this earlier, so he requested a raw footage of it from the news station. Why does this person looks like Midoriya? He shook his head. It's confusing. Midoriya doesn't have that kind of quirk, let alone a 6-foot-tall knight army. This must a relative of him. Then, Nezu's analytical mind went into focus as he made sure to check every single detail. And who's this blonde woman who accompanied him? White electricity. Then, in his mind a theory formed. It couldn't be the new wielder. The 10th, that All for One mentioned in the news 2 days ago. It clicked. Midoriya, you really chose a successor to handle the burden. I hope you played your cards right, Midoriya. Nezu said while smirking at the footage. He didn't understand why Izuku chose a vigilante to be his successor. It's a mere theory, but I'll solidify this until next week. I need solid evidence. Unnamed island near Japanese coast. Izuku and Astrid's cave. It's time. We'll put an end to All for One's evil once and for all. Izuku said, while at the cliff of their island looking at mainland Japan. I'm ready, let's do this, babe. Astrid exclaimed. Let's dance, babe. Izuku took Astrid's arm as they both jumped off the cliff together. Kaizel. The dragon appeared out of Izuku's shadow and they landed in Kaizel's back. To Japan, as the wyvern flew off at unprecedented speed with Astrid and Izuku in tow. Scene change. Kamino Ward villain base. The group of villains were chatting with one another, trying to figure out a good plan on how to weaken hero society and it all down. All for One was with them, for a clear and well thought out plan. No Dabi, I say we break their defenses first before going after Endeavor the number 1. His weakened from Hound's attack last week and is still recovering. He's their last defense and a weakened last wall is the easiest to conquer. Mr. Compress added, while Dabi grumbled that his plan didn't even get. Fine, pitch your damn idea in, I just wanna have a chance to burn that bastard. Dabi whispered. I like Mr. Compress's plan. We'll weaken their first line first by bringing the Nomus in to deal with their students and staff. UA's our priority kill list right now. All Might is weakened, I doubt he'll pose a threat. All for One added his thoughts. Master, that sounds good, then we'll sweep One for All's successor and take the quirk before they could react. Tamura said, clearly hell-bent on his own idea. All for One merely nodded but has a better idea. That's for the last part, Tamura, the climax of the attack. All for One spoke, commanding, not hearing more childish things from Tamura's pettiness. Then, All for One, you're dead. The doors flew back, destroyed by a powerful kick. You've escaped death too many times, my liege doesn't appreciate you crawling away from his fingers. It's time you die, for good. Said by a very angry Izuku who has his twin shadow daggers equipped. Quest. Eliminate the League of Villains. Reward from Sung Jin Woo. Shadow Storage, Shadow Extraction, and Terry's Fragment Agelessness Potion. Grade Reward. Ascension to General Grade from Elite Knight. Main Quest. Destroy All for One for running away from death. Eliminate him, no one can escape death. Reward. Overseer of a world of a deceased Aterum. Position under the Shadow Monarch. Hidden Quest. Revenge, avenge the death of Dahlia, the Rose of the Shadow Monarch. Reward. Reunite for 1 hour with Inko Midoriya. Izuku's eye wasn't focused on other quests, he only had his eyes on the last one. Mom. Izuku's eyes glowed bright green, as he looked at his prey. You don't know how far a son will go just to meet his mother again. Your AD. Heights Alliance Dormitory, Class 3A. Does anyone want some tea? It's a golden imperial, Momo asked her classmate, already opening the container of high-quality tea. No thanks Yaomomo, we'll pass for now, Kaminari said, from the common room. Me too Yaoyorozu-san, Kirishima added. Get your hero costume now. Aizawa threw the door like he owns it. Sense, Iida was about to ask but Aizawa cut him off. No time, take everyone, someone found All for One and the man is fighting him right now. He breathes in, we'll be back up to whoever he is, this is our chance. Everyone scurried along and tried to find their suits, and as they went out and got their lives on the line. Toshinori Yagi, also known as All Might, couldn't help but stay there, helpless to do anything. His iron suit from David Shield still hasn't arrived. He's feeling so useless right now that he couldn't do anything. Finally some action. Bakugo yelled, finally I can show I am better than that damn Deku. As he ran with his classmates, with a costume in hand. Scene change. Kamino Ward, a desolate battlefield. Izuku is fighting with Tamura Shigaraki and All for One, trading blows after blows. How about this combination of quirks? Let's see you dodge this. All for One yelled in frustration, the living fossil already has enough of Izuku. He rushed at Izuku, with an intent to kill and finish whoever this shadow guy is. Try and dodge this. Izuku didn't dodge, he stood there with a smirk. The land connected with Izuku's upper torso. Ha, not so tough now, master already killed you before you even had the chance to strike. Tamura bathed in the glory for a moment, he thought his master defeated Izuku. Oh, just how wrong he was. Ha 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 ha, ha ha ha, do you really think I'd die that easily? Izuku shouts, while All for One's brow furrowed. Don't be such a cocky brat, a mere cockroach like you is nothing to a demon king. All for One spat. A demon king, you. My god, you're more delusional than I give you credit for. Izuku spat back. Demon King Baron died, from the hands of my liege, you're no demon king. Izuku blown off torso regenerates. You're a delusional otaku, a demon king is a status. Izuku punched All for One in the stomach, sending him straight to Shigaraki Tamura, who was caught off guard. You're a 200 years worth of disappointment. Scene change. Astrid was holding her own, fighting off 6 villains, Dabi, Twice, Compress, Toga, Kurogiri, while she was also dodging Gigantomachia. Izuku, I can't keep this up, I need help. She's already straining herself for pushing One for All at 40% and she's as strong as 120 to 130 of Izuku's OFA, but her experience with the quirk is lacking, so she's at a disadvantage. Gigantomachia was about to stomp her to death, damn it. I have no time to dodge, but Gigantomachia's arms were stopped by 2 giant figures. Rahhhhhh. The 2 shadow giants Izuku summoned to help her, keeps Gigantomachia occupied. Good, now I can focus on these moronic villains, Astrid said while dodging a knife to the throat courtesy of Toga. Hey cute blonde twin, do you bleed? I wanna see your blood. As Toga lunged again and tried to strike at Astrid. Psycho, Astrid yelled before, cleaving Toga's entire arm off. Ah, the blood, Psycho yelled, grasping her missing arm. You're gonna regret that, you won't, Twice yelled, using his sharp measuring tape at Astrid to cut her, but was met by a scythe to the stomach which stopped him in his tracks. Both Toga and Twice's bodies were cleaved in half by the scythe, 2 down. Astrid couldn't take it, she's a Viking, but killing people is still new to her, but the passive skill of the scythe makes her unsympathetic towards those she kills. Dabi, seeing he has no chance here, he ran and find Endeavor if he is here. Where are you going, Dabi? Yelled Mr. Compress, we have to stop th. Astrid wasn't gonna listen to a conversation, so she saw the chance and acted on it. She sliced Mr. Compress in a vertical line, killing him for good. It seems I am not needed here, Kurogiri said before warping towards Izuku, vs All for One and Shigaraki. Where are you all going? We're not done here yet. As she looks around, corpses of Twice, Toga, and Compress lays around. She then took their bodies and laid it on top of one another. Then, by taking a broken table, she destroyed it before putting it on top. Fortunately, a gasoline was nearby, so she took it and poured it over them. To honor the dead, after she poured it, she grinds the scythe on the ground, creating some sparks as the piece of wood catches on fire. Sending through a pyre, she said before walking away towards Izuku's fight. May your souls rest in Helheim. Kamino Ward, Battlefield. Class 3A helped with saving people, rescuing trapped civilians, and some are just watching at the carnage going on. What the heck happened here? Mina Ishido asked, looking at the carnage in front of them. Upon them, mountain upon mountains for dead bodies of D-lister villains, food soldiers of the League of Villains. They're all dead, not one of them is breathing, Momo Yaoyorozu added, while puking out her lunch. Yaomomo, you okay? Her best friend Jiro asked. Why, yeah, I'm fine, just disoriented. Who could have caused all of this? She pukes more at the sight of dismembered bodies of villains. A white blur goes past them, with streaks of white lightning. Who's that? Sato asked, pointing at the figure. Wait, isn't that Blackwhip? Part of Midoriya's quirk. Momo eyed the figure wheel. She's floating too, so she has float, then that lightning arcs that Midoriya has when his quirk enters full cowling state, she analyzed. Finally found the bitch Deku passed the quirk to. Bakugo whispered to himself, then a huge smirk dawned on his face. You don't deserve that bitch, one for all is mine, I'll make sure of it, he said while using his explosion to go after Astrid. Hey! Where you going, Bakugo? Mina shouts. Go after him. I swear he'll do something dumb, Shoto commanded his classmates. Iida, go first. You're the fastest, he added. Got it? Iida didn't hesitate and sprinted towards Bakugo. Scene change back with Izuku and his fight with All for One with Shigaraki. All for One already lost his right arm, as that fear is the symbol of fear, scared of the former successor of One for All. Izuku shouts, while ignoring All for One and going after Shigaraki. Come at me, bastard. This time my quirk will work on you, Shigaraki prepared himself. You lost something, Shigaraki? Izuku taunted while waving Shigaraki's left arm. Arg! You bastard, you took my arm. Izuku dodged an attack from All for One, who was going for his head. Too transparent, old man. He then summoned his twin shadow daggers and cut All for One in the chest. Why, you damned boy. You'll regret ever going against me. Izuku side-eyed. I doubt that. With a living fossil like you, I'm not regretting anything. Izuku spat. Yo. All for One was about to speak. Nice heart, All for One. Too dark though. Izuku crushed All for One's heart in his hand. My heart, he said, groaning in pain as his heart was crushed. You don't need it. A heartless person like you doesn't deserve a heart. As Izuku, using his left hand, punched All for One to a building. You're going to pay for killing Sensei, Shigaraki shouted, then rushed towards Izuku. Izuku let it happen. You can't disintegrate a shadow, do better. Izuku coldly spoke, before taking Shigaraki by the right arm and flinging him to the same building he sent All for One. Amateurs, I trained with Sir Igras and Beru, you can't even scratch me, he said before slowly walking to where he sent the two villains. You two still alive in there? He sarcastically asked. I guess no. A swift motion, a blur as Izuku looks down. An arm was through his chest as he looked at his beating heart. You die. Boy, you're hundreds of years too young to defeat me. You're weak, All for One, with his arm through Izuku's chest. He spoke it, trying to taunt Izuku, who was bleeding from his gaping chest. Too young? Sure, but weaker? Hell no, Izuku said, as his gaping chest immediately healed, like he was never stabbed. Impossible. Even if you have the embers left, there's no healing quirk within One for All. All for One saw Izuku smirk at the two of them. Didn't I told you already? Death doesn't appreciate you slipping away. I am his soldier. I am the upcoming general that serves the Shadow Monarch. Izuku throws a haymaker punch at All for One. As his body already starts to give out on him, the stress that his regeneration quirk already reaching its exhaustion. I can't afford another mishap. I'll die by the next blow this kid gives out. All for One was trying to make a plan, as his eyes landed on Shigaraki. Master, what are you planning? His student asked, as All for One lunged at him. Then chokeholds him from the back. If you get any closer, the grandson of Nana Shimura dies, he said, All for One still grasping Shigaraki's neck. Do I look like I give a damn what happens to that crusty bastard? Izuku lunged and pierced his entire through Shigaraki's chest, and it got out towards All for One's chest too, impaling the two. You son of a bit! Shigaraki fell down the moment Izuku retracted his arms out of Shigaraki's chest. You didn't even hesitate. What kind of monster are you? All for One shouts. You're next. Izuku's eyes glows emerald brightly, then he put All for One in a chokehold. You can't kill me. I am the Demon King, he yelled as Izuku sharply looks at him. You're no Demon King. Izuku slowly takes All for One's spine out of his body. You am monster ah. All for One's last words were of pain, as Izuku took out his spine out of his miserable body. You are a spineless bastard, Izuku said, almost laughing from his own joke, before looking away, and he started walking, with hands in his pockets. Scene change. Astrid was flying, using float and air cannons for propulsion, as she tries to find some more villains. Danger sense activated abruptly and she dodged an explosion mid-flight. What's your deal? She yelled, seeing the perpetrator was a dirty ash-blonde Pomeranian with a permanent scowl on his face. I found you, bitch. So that pathetic Deku gave you one for all. Astrid raised an eyebrow, confused littering her face. She knows one for all, but what's a Deku? She asked, still confused. Quit fucking with me, he yelled in frustration. Gross, no, I have a boyfriend. She punched Katsuki in the gut, causing him to be sent back towards Iida, crashing into the engine quirk user. What's your deal? Why did he suddenly attack me? Her lightning arcs grew in volumes. Excuse me, we're sorry for our classmate attacking you out of nowhere. Astrid nodded at Iida, while she crossed her arms. Looking down at the unconscious body of Katsuki, she's unconcerned about him. Put him on a leash next T. Izuku then appeared, using shadow-like wings to fly to her level. It's been a while, how are you guys? Izuku said, earning a confused reaction from his former classmates. Do we know you by chance? Shoto added, while Izuku sighed. Mr. Broke my arms, recovery girl's most broken patient. Anyone. They pondered on it for a moment, until Denki, the dumbest of the group, arrived at a single conclusion. Midoriya, Denki Kaminari yelled, as everyone's eyes widened. The one and only. Now if you excuse us, my girlfriend and I have to go. Izuku wrapped his arm around Astrid's waist. Midoriya, wait. Almost everyone there pleaded. Ciao, as they disappeared into the shadows, and popped back up 100 of meters away from the group. Now let's see my quest rewards. Notification. Main quest, hidden quest, and grade quest have been accomplished by the Shadow Soldier. Izuku Midoriya's rewards have been sent to his inventory. A card pass for 1 hour limited time astral body projection of Inko Midoriya has been added to the inventory and is bookmarked. You have now ascended to General Grade Shadow Soldier. You have been given a job. Overseer. You have assimilated Antares Fragment. Congratulations, Izuku Midoriya. Finally, scene change. After that whole fiasco, Izuku and Astrid had returned to their humble abode. Arise. Izuku summoned Kaizel, his trusted dragon. Kaizel, I want you to visit the Aterum world that our liege had given me rights to be an overseer, he said. Yes, General, the dragon spoke, the very first time he did, since at first he has no respect for Izuku. Now Izuku's a general, he has his utmost respect for Izuku, and with that the dragon retreated back in the shadows. I wonder what's on that world. I hope it's something exciting, but before that. Izuku's eyes glowed emerald, as his tone became serious. I still have things to settle. You almost hurt my girlfriend, we have some unfinished business. Kachan. Not playfully, not one that promises nothing but pain, he's out for Katsuki's blood, for almost hurting Astrid. How do I look, Astrid? Izuku asked. Astrid only smirked and touched his chest. Absolutely shitty, she giggled while walking away. Oh come on, he yelled in protest, while her giggles turned into full-blown laughter. Oh come on, I'm trying a new style here, give me a break. Izuku said while pouting. No, don't worry, she came back, and assured him. You look good. She kissed his cheek, Perfect, even. She added. Scene change. What do you problem children mean by Midoriya's alive? Aizawa asked. It means what it implies, sensei. We saw Midoriya, he's the shadow thingy vigilante. Kaminari informed. So you're telling me, Midoriya ran away somewhere we couldn't even track even with the help of heroes from our own country. This just got more troubling than informative. Aizawa pinched the bridge of his nose. Yes sir, Iida was there along with the boys to confirm it, and we found a girl who has Midoriya's quirk. I think they're partners. Momo said. They definitely fucked, Mineta said, not reading the room. Bro, not the time. Kirishima reprimands him. Oh sorry, Mineta retorted, apologetically. We'll do a search operation then. For this week your assignment is a retrieval mission, retrieve Midoriya back to UA. Aizawa said. He already knows some of his student would go either way, so he just gave it to them, by way of an assignment. Heck yeah, I am settling the score with that Deku. Almost every boy in the class rolled their eyes at what Bakugo yelled. Come on bro, give it up already. Why would he waste his time on you? Just let the guy be for once instead of always bothering him with petty challenges. Mind you always lose to him, Kirishima said, already done with the bullshit Bakugo is rumbling on about. You shitty hair. He ran to Kirishima and grabbed him by the collar of Kirishima's uniform. You take that back, he yelled in Kirishima's face. Or what, Bakugo? Shoto spoke beside him, his flames activated ready to protect Kirishima. You icy hot bastard, you're siding with this extra. Shoto didn't give a damn, and what, side with you? Yeah no, so let him go or else. Bakugo saw almost every guy in class was ready to throw hands, and is siding with Kirishima. That's enough Bakugo, you too Todoroki. Aizawa-sensei yelled at all of them, his quirk activated glaring at all of them. Bakugo reluctantly went back to his seat, but before saying, "This isn't over you bastards," to Kirishima and glaring at Shoto. Why would you even be so fixated with Midoriya, and how big is your ego that you'd get hurt if someone said you don't matter to Midoriya? Not very heroic Bakugo, and very illogical. Iida spoke. I said enough. Get your hero suits, your assignment starts today, patrol every part of Musudafu to recover Midoriya. Aizawa explained what they're gonna do. Scene change. Izuku in Astrid's cave. Izuku was with Astrid, him resting his head on Astrid's lap while they lock eyes together in a very deep conversation. Say Astrid, if by chance, my liege has ways of accessing your home world, would you like to go? Izuku asked while she's combing through Izuku's hair. Of course, but I want you to be there with me, I want you to meet my mom and dad. Izuku smiled hearing that. What about Hiccup? Izuku added. What about him? Izuku, you know I won't leave you, you know that right? What Hiccup and I had was in the past. Spoke Astrid, while giving him a solid assurance. Now, I'm looking towards a future with you, us together with children of our own. Izuku reached for her cheeks. I want that too. Mini Astrid and mini me running around. Maybe if we do get to your world, maybe they could bond with a dragon of their own. His eyes were looking at hers. Izuku saw the future, a future they both share within her ocean blue eyes. Yeah, and they could meet their grandma. I know Izuku, from your stories your mother would have loved to hear kids calling her their grandma. Astrid saw the trickling stream of tears dripping down on Izuku's cheeks. I wish she was here, with us, he said, while the pass in his pocket glowed blue. Wait Izuku, your pocket, it's glowing, she pointed out. The pass that the system rewarded him floats towards a spacious area and it glowed brighter. Little by little, a figure began to form as a silhouette of a woman was formed as the light died out. Izuku's eyes widened. Astrid gasped at the figure. Mom, spoke Izuku, who began to clutch his heart from the realization of who it was. Izuku, my baby. Is that you? Inko whispered, my poor baby. It's really you. Inko ran to her son, and gave him a loving embrace. Izuku reciprocated with his own tight hug. Mom. I miss you. You have no idea how I wish you were there for me, Mom. I can, Mom. Izuku sobbed into his mother's shoulder. Astrid couldn't help but stay there, not saying a word but look at the beautiful reunion with a smile on her face and streams of tears on her cheeks. Izuku looks so happy. It's my first time seeing him this happy. Should I go to them? Should I? Was Astrid's train of thoughts. Izuku dear, Who is she? Inko points at Astrid. Izuku cuts the hug for a moment and went for Astrid. Come on. He took Astrid's hand and went back to Inko. Mom, this is Astrid, my girlfriend. Astrid, this is my mom. Izuku introduced Astrid to Inko, and Inko to Astrid. She's quite the beautiful woman, Izuku. Astrid dear, come here. Inko urged Astrid close to them. Group hug. As Inko brought the two into her embrace. You're part of this family now, dear. Please call me mother or mom. Astrid didn't hesitate and reciprocated the hug, and tightly held to Inko's shirt. Okay, mom. She sobbed in Inko's shoulders too. We're a family now, so Izuku, don't you dare hurt this girl or I'm going after you and chase you with my slippers. Spoke Inko, threatening her son that if he'd break Astrid's heart he'll suffer. Oh, of course, mom, he surrendered. I like it here. I feel home, thought Astrid, while being hugged by both Izuku and Inko. Scene change. Time skip for Burke. New Burke, Island of Dragons and Vikings. Ingrid Hofferson, adoptive mother of Astrid Hofferson, was a calm and collected woman, but when she and her husband learned of their daughter's disappearance 8 months ago, both of them were devastated by the news, as broken as Astrid's lover Hiccup, the chief of Burke. While her husband sought the comfort of alcohol to sat his anger and grief, she on the other hand bonded with Stormfly, Astrid's former dragon, which got abandoned when Astrid disappeared. So in her free time she takes Stormfly for a flight to be free of the grief both her and the dragon at the loss of Astrid. Stormfly, Stormfly, let's go higher. She pats the dragon on the neck, as if gesturing for them to up. The dragon understands and they flew up. Good job, Stormfly, now we're touching the sky, she exclaimed, her grief almost gone. What she's feeling was pure of joy. This must be the best time of your life, Astrid dear. This feels calming, the breeze, my hair dancing with it. The woman smiled, and Stormfly did the same, or what's the definition of a smile for a dragon? Go faster, girl, we can handle the breeze. Ingrid gestures again, as Stormfly picked up speed. But, so very sudden, Stormfly stopped. What's wrong, girl? She asked the dragon. What is it? Again, she asked, but the dragon only focused at a direction. A suddenly gust of wind almost knocked her off of Stormfly. Huh? What's that? Her body froze, as a huge figure was mid-air flapping its dark shadowy wings. Is that a dragon? She pointed at a dragon, made of nothing but shadow and a glowing energy oozing out of its body. Acting by instinct, Stormfly instinctively goes back, flying as fast she can't. Go, girl. Faster, that's not a dragon. The dragon did its best, even with Ingrid's comfort, but the huge dragon made of shadow caught up to them. As they locked eyes, both dragon and Ingrid locked eyes with the unknown dragon. Then, the next thing that happened shocked both rider and dragon. I need your cooperation. My general wishes to learn everything about this world, the unknown dragon spoke. New Burke, Island of Dragons and Vikings. I wish for your cooperation. The unknown dragon spoke, in their language no less. Ingrid sat there on Stormfly, she's shivering from the dragon's tone. What do you want, dragon? She asked, still cannot believe that the dragon spoke. My esteemed general wishes to know of this world. I wish to speak with the one with the highest authority that you know of. The dragon spoke. Why? She replied. Because human, my general wishes to know of the world he will oversee in the foreseeable future. The dragon said, not an ounce of annoyance from this back and forth. I see. She paused. Chief Hiccup would love to document these species dragons, but isn't it too risky to tell anything to this dragon that can speak? Was her train of thoughts while eyeing the dragon. Stormfly was cautious, not moving but flapping its wings to stay in the air. One wrong mistake would result in hers and Ingrid's life. I do not bring harm. I am simply here by my general's orders, so please, bring me to your leader. Another assurance from the dragon, but they both didn't let their guards down. Ingrid sighed defeated, if you wish, but there's a term you must abide. I will land us into an island and you will wait there for the chief to arrive. She saw the dragon nodding. That will suffice. The dragon spoke. This dragon doesn't seem to be hiding malicious intent, I'm sure of it, were the thoughts of Stormfly while eyeing the unknown dragon. Lead the way, human woman. The dragon urged, as Ingrid and Stormfly flew in the direction of the new Burke. Timeskip unnamed island. Ingrid and Stormfly along with the unknown dragon landed on the island. You can wait here. I'll tell the chief of your arrival, Ingrid said while taking off again. Very well. The dragon nodded. He'll be here, with a black dragon in Night Fury just so you'll know who to attack and not to. Ingrid lastly spoke before taking off with Stormfly. The dragon gazed at the flying deadly natter with Ingrid riding it. Her style of clothing is very similar to the general's mate. The dragon spoke to no one in particular as it gazes at the speck of the figure who was Ingrid and Stormfly. Timeskip knew Burke Hiccup was in meat hall with Elsa. She's beside him while he's eating and she's just looking at him while resting her chin on the back of her hand. Enjoying my cooking, Hiccup? Elsa asked, while Hiccup nodded, still continuing with his supper. It's so good. I didn't know you were a good cook all this time. She giggled at that. I'm a princess first and queen last, so I gained some skills for my king, she replied, still lovingly looking at him. Still no signs of a king. How long does this damsel have to wait for her king? She teased. Sorry, but the king is still eating, so wait for a moment, damsel. Hiccup retorts back, winking at Elsa. You're such a flirt, but on a serious note though, Hiccup, how's the talk? She asked, while slowly approaching his hand with her own. Nothing much, same as ever. Argon wanted our dragons as his army, which I again declined, but the threat is still there. He has 3 bewilder beast and a purple death. I don't even think even with our dragons and Toothless as alpha, could we even hope to win. Elsa tightly held Hiccup's hand. I'm still here, if we fight we fight. No one's taking our dragons, she assured him, while Hiccup appreciated the gesture. He really did need it since that fateful day Hiccup had been stressed these past few months. Could we really fight Argon? Hiccup spoke. We can, but winning that fight. It's up to us to fight for that victory. Burke loves their dragons as much as we love each other. Her hands explored towards Hiccup's cheeks as she cupped his cheeks in between her hands, making Hiccup to look at her. Our dragons, isn't theirs to enslave, dragon to us, our family. I don't even want to imagine a world where I lost my dragon Ager to that power-hungry man. She lovingly caressed his cheeks. I know. We won't let it happen. As Elsa's hand fell away from his cheeks, it was his turn to comfort her, as the solemn look on her face while imagining a scenario of that happening. Hiccup frowned, seeing her like that tugged a string in his heart. That won't ever happen. We'll find some allies, and take Argon down. Hiccup was there when Argon made a promise to Elsa. I will never let that happen. You will never be his sow and breeding wife. I'll fight him, even alone, he said while inching closer to her face. He kissed her temple. You won't suffer that fate, I'm making sure of it, as his lips departed from her forehead. Thank you, Hiccup, for always being here for me, she said, while coiling her hands on Hiccup's waist. I will never surrender you to anyone, never, he said, resting his head on Elsa's hands. I know you won't. I trust you, Hiccup. Little by little, their faces inches closer to each other. And I trust fate, even if we're from different worlds. Fate brought us together, even Argon can't destroy what we have, she added, before going and touching her lips with Hiccup's. They kissed with passion, as their love for each other coated their lips. Then, abruptly the mead hall doors opened. Chief, you're needed. This is URG, Ingrid, covered her mouth from shock. Mrs. Hofferson? Elsa asked, as they both retracted their lips away. I'm sorry for barging in. She apologized. No, it's fine. So what is it? Hiccup asked, curious what's so important that Ingrid was huffing, breathing heavily when she got in. Chief, a dragon wants to talk with you. Hiccup's brow furrowed, in dragon language. That's new, maybe they have info. Ingrid cuts in before Hiccup could finish. No, Chief. Our language. It can speak our language as if it's human too. Both Hiccup and Elsa gained curious and shocked expression. It was unfathomable for a dragon to speak their tongue, since dragons have their own voice box. They could only speak Dragonese, their native language. A dragon speaking human tongue. That's unheard of. Hiccup, we need to go. Elsa nudges him. All right, Elsa, you ride with me, please guide us to where that dragon is. Ingrid nodded as they prepared. Right away. Time skip. Hiccup, Elsa and Ingrid arrived at the island. Both Hiccup and Elsa gasped at the sight of the amazing dragon. It's made of shadows. Darkness, he asked. You must be the chief. I am Kaizel, a loyal soldier of the Shadow Monarch, and under the General Izuku Midoriya. The dragon introduced itself. Wait, soldier. Shadow Monarch. General. Hiccup asked, still confused at what's happening. Hiccup, stay focused. I am Elsa. Just Elsa for now. This here is Hiccup Horrendous Haddock 3, the current chief of Burke. She pointed at Hiccup, who was still contemplating of his dreaming or not. And you already met Mrs. Hofferson, right? She points at Ingrid. For a moment, the dragon gained a realization. Hofferson. The dragon asked, confused, contemplating if he heard that right. You know someone with that family name? Elsa asked. Now both Hiccup and Ingrid are invested in the conversation. I know of someone. The dragon paused. The trio's eyes and ears focused on the dragon. Astrid Hofferson, as General Izuku's mate girlfriend. Time skipped 2 years for Izuku, and Astrid gave up strength and decided to be a general by making sure his intelligence and decision-making is flawless. He still has the body of an Olympic athlete and it's hidden in his baggy clothes, but decided strength isn't for him, but commanding. He's a jack of all trades, master of all. Marksmanship. Dragon magic. Bladed weapon combat. May it be a spear, halberd, swords, daggers, axes and other blades, he mastered them all. Izuku's body attained poison resistance since his body is always in constant adaptation to Astrid's cooking, which could kill a normal human in seconds. He always compliments her cooking but never lets her cook for Eri. Astrid Hofferson Midoriya, officially married to Izuku, and the adoptive mother to Eri, whom she stole from Ua by using her absolute control and finesse with the one-for-all quirk. As for their marriage, they didn't do it the natural way but the way Izuku was told by Antares, through mating ritual. Axe mastery. Scythe proficiency. One-for-all control and mastery, could control 100% without breaking a bone, has mastery over all quirks in one-for-all. Eri Hofferson Midoriya, a willing kidnapped child. Astrid stole her from UA's dorms when Eri was just lounging around with Class 3A. Astrid fought every single students in 3A, even defeated Bakugo and Todoroki just to take Eri. I got some explaining to do. I want to make it a plot that time in Burke and in Musudafu isn't a constant flow. Sometimes 1 minute is 1 hour in Burke, sometimes 1 minute is 5 minutes in Burke, so it's not a constant flowing river. Since Burke, or the universe the whole Viking archipelago is in, has no Aterum, no overseer, so it's an unbalanced world. That's why Sung Jin-woo assigned Izuku there to be an overseer, to have rulers under him, no monarchs, just rulers to keep time, reasons, and logic at a constant flow. Since, how is Snotlout still alive when Hookfang is always biting him, or lighting them both on fire? Simple, there's no rulers or an Aterum to keep the world going, no reasons, no logic that binds it. Current planned storylines. Hiccup's dilemma with the war with Argon. Hiccup, with knowing Astrid is alive and already moved on, decided to keep the woman there for him safe. He wouldn't give up the dragons, the people of Burke, and most of all not giving up Elsa to be Argon's sow. Izuku's bottled up revenge. He waited for Katsuki Bakugo to be a hero before Izuku's proceeds with his plans. The higher Bakugo in the hero leaderboard, the better. Help from the shadow. Izuku, Astrid and Eri's adventure in the Viking archipelago, helping Burke in the coming war. Ragnarok, snuffing out the last Aterums, with his liege and the young liege along with the army of shadows. Sunlight peeked through the blinds in their small Las Vegas apartment. It was quiet, warm, and way calmer than anything they'd left behind in Japan. The walls were lined with books, a few blades hung on the wall, and dragon-themed stuff cluttered one corner of the living room. It didn't look like a place where a monarch, a warrior, and a former kidnapped kid lived. But it was home. Izuku Midoriya sat at the table wearing a green robe, his hair still a little wet from his morning shower. His coffee was getting cold, but he didn't really care. A red glowing screen floated in front of him, showing maps, alerts, and magical signals from all over the world. He scrolled through them slowly with one hand, his other holding the mug that read "World's Most Dangerous Papa." In the kitchen, something sizzled too loud. Then clang. Again. Astrid's voice filled the space. Not angry, just annoyed. A frying pan hit the stove harder than necessary. Izuku didn't even look up. Fire extinguisher's still under the sink. Love. I know where it is, she grumbled. Astrid stood in front of the stove wearing a tank top and shorts, her long braids slightly messy. Her arm muscles tensed as she tried to flip whatever mess she was cooking. She had her battle scythe leaning on the fridge, right next to a box of cereal. A pancake-shaped object was stuck to the pan. Again. Footsteps came from the hallway. Eri walked in wearing oversized pajamas, her hair sticking up like usual. She rubbed her eyes and blinked a few times at the smell. "Mama, you're cooking again." Astrid turned around with a bright smile. "Good morning, sweetie. I made pancakes," Astrid exclaimed excitedly. Eri looked at the plate on the table. The pancake was burnt black on one side and uncooked on the other. "Papa, you let her cook." Izuku gave her a tired smile. "It's Saturday, Eri, burnt pancake day." Before he sighed, Eri pulled out a protein bar from a drawer, sat next to her dad, and unwrapped it without saying anything. "I like being able to stand up straight after breakfast." Astrid gasped. "Hey, I'm improving." "That's what you said last week, Mama," Eri said while chewing. Izuku poked the pancake with his fork. This one didn't smoke as much. Somehow surprised. "That's progress," Astrid said proudly, putting her hands on her hips. Eri rolled her eyes and leaned her head against her papa's arm. "We're such a weird family. And the luckiest, and probably the strongest too in here. Can't really tell them everything. That my liege could eat gods for breakfast. Honestly, those Aterums really need to give up," Izuku replied, ruffling her hair. Astrid slid into the chair across from them and took a bite of the pancake herself. Her face twitched a little, but she swallowed it without complaining. Izuku smiled. Even with their past, their titles, and the power they all held, it was moments like these that mattered. "After breakfast," he said, flicking away the floating screen, "I'm taking you to the range, Eri. You'll practice adjusting your aim for wind today." "They let 9-year-olds in the range," Astrid added. "Yeah, they do if there's a stack of money in front of them," Izuku flatly said while Astrid sighed. "I'm gonna ignore that, but Eri, remember, you still need to train with me using the scythe. You're still so clumsy at using it." Astrid stirs the subject while Izuku shrugs. "I said I was sorry," Eri groaned. "Sorry doesn't help if you slice your own foot," Astrid teased, poking her side. "Papa agrees with me," Eri said, clinging to Izuku's arm. "Actually, your mama's right," he said calmly. "You've gotta be steady, precise." Eri groaned again. They weren't a normal family. Izuku was the monarch of destruction and a marshal in the Shadow Army, chosen by Sung Jinwoo himself after completing a mission to wipe out All for One in the League of Villains. Izuku didn't even try to take the Grand Marshal title from Bellion. He didn't want his ass to get folded like an omelet. Astrid, now known as the Scythe Maiden, controlled One for All better than any past user ever had. Eri, once scared and lonely, was now smiling, safe, and training to be strong on her own terms. But right now, they were just Papa, Mama, and Eri. And it was a good morning. Until Izuku and his petty ass started plotting something. The apartment was quiet again. Astrid had taken Eri to train in one of their underground spots outside the city. As soon as they left, the whole place felt different. Calm, but not warm anymore. Just quiet. Izuku Midoriya stayed at the table where he'd been drinking his now cold coffee. The floating screen in front of him changed as he moved his fingers. No more maps or alerts. He switched over to something private. A dark folder opened. Inside were video clips. Old ones. From middle school. He tapped one. The screen showed a younger version of himself standing alone in a hallway. It was grainy, but clear enough to see what was happening. Katsuki Bakugo was there too, leading 2 other kids. They were cornering him, yelling. The kind of scene that never left your mind. Izuku didn't look angry, just tired. Another clip played. This one showed Bakugo shoving him down a short staircase. The camera caught the exact moment he said something awful. Even with no sound, it was clear. "Kill yourself." Izuku tapped again. Messages popped up. Testimonies, chats, statements from others who were also bullied back then. Some had left it behind. Others were still angry. Some of them were waiting. "We're ready when you are. Midoriya, just let me know when you're pushing the case. Just say the word." Midoriya were always ready to face him, to bring him down on that high pedestal he puts himself on. He didn't reply. He wasn't ready. Not yet. Izuku opened another file. This one showed Bakugo today walking out of a hero agency back in Japan. Reporters crowded around. Fans cheered. He smiled and waved. Top 10 hero. Dynamite, explosion hero gains more praise. From trouble to triumph. Izuku's eyes didn't leave the screen. He wasn't jealous. He didn't care about the rankings. What bothered him was how everyone forgot. How no one talked about what Bakugo used to be. He moved his hand again and opened a different folder. This file? It had everything. All the school footage. Signed witness reports, quirk analysis from middle school. Documents showing how the Hero Commission ignored it. Backup plans in case Bakugo denied or fought back. Everything was organized, step by step. He could take him down anytime he wanted. But, Izuku leaned back in his chair and looked at the screen. Not yet, he said softly. His hand went to his chest. Under his robe, he touched the small pendant that held the compact form of his Monarch power. It pulsed lightly. A reminder of what he was now. I want him to get all of it, he muttered. The fame. The fans. Maybe even the #1 spot. He stood up slowly and turned off the screen. Then I'll crush it. There was no rage in his voice. Just a decision. In the distance, he could hear faint sounds, maybe Astrid laughing with Eri, somewhere far below the building. He stood still for a while, then quietly walked to the window and looked outside. People down below were going about their lives. He has a home now. A family. A life far from Japan. But the past? He hadn't forgotten. And when the time came, neither would the world. I'm going to help you become the #1 hero in the shadows, then. Izuku's green eyes flickered red before he licked his lips. I'll pull the piece that keeps your dreams going, and watch everything you've built for the past 2 years crumble down. The loathing in his voice was evident. Location. Musutafu City, Hero Plaza Convention Center. Flashes popped. Cameras clicked like gunfire. The press swarmed around the sleek glass stage of the Hero Plaza Convention Center, just a few blocks from UA-High's influence zone. Katsuki Bakugo sat in the center, shoulders back, mouth tight, wearing his signature black and orange dynamite gear. The high-collar jacket was unzipped halfway, and the custom gloves were modded to suppress ambient ignition. Not because he wanted to impress. Because they asked him to tone down. He hated this. The crowd. The bright lights. The endless praise. But the attention? The fame? That, he'd come to live with. Maybe even crave a little. Dynamite-san. A woman in a red blazer called out. You've officially broken into the top 10 heroes on the national charts. Any thoughts? Katsuki leaned forward slightly, resting his forearms on the table. Means I gotta keep going, he said flatly. Not here to celebrate yet. Another question came. Critics say your combat style's aggressive, even dangerous. How do you justify the collateral risk? He rolled his eyes. Same way I justify breathing. I'm built for this. Don't like the heat? Stay out of the damn blast zone. Nervous chuckles rippled through the crowd. Then another reporter stood. This week marks 2 years since your public apology press run. Many fans see your current success as a full redemption arc. Do you feel you've changed, about what you did to your classmate Izuku Midoriya? The room stilled slightly. Bakugo stared at her, red eyes sharp and unreadable. I don't do arcs, he muttered. I do results, and that Deku's result is die a coward's death avoiding being a hero like us. That's why Uravity married me and not him. He snarled at them. Muted applause followed, but his hands were clenched under the table. He hated the way they framed him. Like he was some damned fairy tale. Rough boy becomes good. No, he earned everything. Through blood, through battle. He didn't need to be forgiven. He needed to win. He was about to call the press off when... Crack. The sound came after the pain. A sharp, splitting force struck his right shoulder, throwing him sideways in his chair. The world blurred. Screams erupted across the room. Security leapt to the stage. The reinforced glass behind him shattered in a clean arc. He'd been shot. The pain wasn't hot, it was clean. Cold. Precise. The shoulder burned but didn't rupture. The shot was surgical. Sniper. Someone shouted. Bakugo tried to stand, but 2 agents pinned him down. His blood soaked through the orange lining of his jacket. The arm trembled. Millimeters from your artery, a medic hissed. You're lucky. Lucky? No, this wasn't luck. This was a message. Musutafu. Newsfeeds worldwide breaking. Japan's top 10 hero Dynamite survives sniper attack at live event. Was it anti-hero terrorism? Quirkless retaliation? League remnants? Katsuki Bakugo. From villainous past to public target? One photo led them all. Bakugo, gripping his bleeding shoulder, looking dead into the lens as the glass shattered behind him. Beneath Kamino Ward ruins, far beneath the ruins of old Kamino, a place where All Might's legend fell and rose again, Izuku Midoriya sat in a dark chamber, sipping black tea, his eyes locked on floating footage of the press conference. Astrid Hofferson sat beside him, sharpening her scythe with a wet stone, glancing over. "You look disappointed," she said. "I'm not," Izuku replied, watching the bullet hit frame by frame. It was surgical. No panic. No threat to civilians. He zoomed in on the casing rolling on the stage floor. "You found the sniper?" Astrid asked. "I didn't need to. He left a ghost trail. Magic-based. They became a hunter. I know I shouldn't just take a piss anywhere." He stood. "I know where he is." Astrid tilted her head. "One of yours?" "Yes," Izuku said, smiling faintly. "Whoever they are, they're a byproduct of my mana leaking, causing them to turn into a hunter, like you." Sector 13 substation abandoned. The man didn't flinch when Izuku arrived. He wore urban camo, white mask, and fingerless gloves burned at the edges. The sniper rifle was already on the ground. A gesture of peace. "You tracked me," the man said. "You made it easy," Izuku replied, stepping from the shadows. "You wanted to be found." Silence. Then the man removed his mask. Scars lined his cheek, one eye milky white, mid-20s, pale, but the expression. That was rage. No amounts of blood could quench that thirst. "Took you long enough." Izuku's tone cooled. "Got a name, Little Hunter." "Hatanaka Jiro," he said. "Aldera Junior High, quirk. Electrostatic field manipulation." Izuku's breath stilled. He remembered him. Bakugo's favorite lab dummy back in their second year. Quiet, forgotten, gone halfway through term with no explanation. "Bakugo crushed my face into an exposed panel during quirk drills," Jiro said. "Called it an experiment. They said you transferred," Izuku added. "I was in the ICU." The man grimaced as if remembering his own pain. Jiro's lip curled. "My father sued." The school settled in silence. Teachers said it was a misfire. He chuckled bitterly. No public record, no apologies. And then he became a hero. Izuku said nothing. He reached into his coat and dropped a black access card. "Kamino. Underground. Sector 4. Password. Ashbourne." Jiro blinked. "What's this?" "Proof," Izuku said. "That you're not alone." Jiro's eye narrowed. "You want revenge?" "No," Izuku answered softly. "I want his legacy to collapse before his very eyes, a clean death as mercy." "We don't give him that." He turned to leave. "Wait," Jiro said. "Why now?" Izuku looked over his shoulder, eyes glowing neon emerald. "Because the world forgave him." He vanished into the shadows. Musutafu, Bakugo's apartment. Bakugo stared at his shoulder in the mirror. The bandages were clean. The bleeding stopped, but the damage ran deeper. That shot. It wasn't random. It wasn't a villain. It wasn't rage. It was precision. And whoever pulled that trigger. They knew him. His phone buzzed. "Unknown sender. You remember explosions. I remember your laughter while I bled. Sleep tight. Dynamite, we are coming for you." Bakugo crushed the phone in his hand. But he didn't sleep. Izuku stood on of the highest skyscrapers in Musutafu, with his hands inside his pockets. He looks down. Deku City is filled to the brim with hero posters and billboards. They praised Katsuki Bakugo, but they're blind to the truth of what that man did to Izuku and a few classmates in middle school. Christian God is very forgiving. He glanced at the sky, and back at the billboard of Katsuki's top 10 ascension. "But I am not God. I'm just human too." He outstretched his arms forward. "Your Ragnarok is coming, Kachan. It's time everything you worked so hard for, to crumble down beneath my feet." Beneath him, the shadows under his common roared in agreement. "It's time you fall from that high pedestal you put yourself on. It's time to exact what I've been planning for 2 years. Soldiers made of shadows slowly manifested and accompanied Izuku. "Cause some ruckus," Do not kill civilians. Let's see if their hero can protect them all. Soldiers by the dozens roared in unison. Bring him down. Straight to hell. Izuku shouted with unbridled fury in his voice. Izuku Midoriya has been the bane of the Hero Society's existence. He's a living nightmare to all. He's an enigma to everyone. A monster who could take someone's quirk and add it to his own. He is a villain or society claims him to be. For centuries Izuku Midoriya is feared even when quirks were only called meta ability. He's been the boogeyman to every heroes that rose to take him down. A bigger threat than all for one ever could, Izuku Midoriya hides in the mask of his villain persona, Greed. So any takers? Izuku, Greed, Midoriya. Cursed with immortality, he can't die of physical wounds, he can't age past his prime. He's stuck in his 24 years old appearance. Some mistakes him younger than them, little did they know they're mere fetus compared to his age. First quirk bearer, Greed, age 300 plus. He witnessed the rise of quirk, he's older than even All for One who's, no spoilers, just look at the picture. Ship, due to his age I'm not shipping him with recovery girl F off ha ha ha. Valka, mother of dragons, Haddock. She was sent to Izuku's world in the end of Drago's first war on Burke. Yes, I said first, just a day after she lost Stoic. Now Hiccup has to deal with two parents, one dead, one missing, but it's worth it in the end. I'm not doing Hiccup like that. Any title. I'm still contemplating with what to title this one. To be continued. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Now we will see you in the next video.